Well, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, and good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Got a great broadcast lineup for you this morning. You know what this is. This is Black Friday. This is Black Friday. This is the day where you become the boss. Yes, you become the boss, and anything that is on your heart, we will talk about it and talk about it in its entirety. All you have to do is give us a call, 678-381-1973. 678-381-1973. Give us a call. We love to hear from you. We love to be able to talk to you about what is going on in the world of business. We got quite a few people that's actually going to call in with us this morning, and it's going to be an honor and a blessing and an absolute thrill. It's going to be I'm high and happy, elephant elated, and porcupine proud that you are going to allow us to be a part of your morning this morning. So make sure you come on in and join us and have a great time. Let's talk business. If you have a business that's going on, if you have an event that's coming up, and you want somebody to advertise your business for absolutely free. Zero. We're gonna charge you 0.5. We're gonna charge you 0.5. That's what we're going to charge you today. So what you can do, you can actually give us a call, 678-381-1973, 678-381-1973. Give us a call and let us know what we could do to help and assist you, on this business venture that you have, on this event that you have coming up. There's a great award show that's coming up at the end of the month. We may get the young lady to call in and talk and speak on that. If we can get her to call in today, this will be a great opportunity for her to call in and talk about it for free. Yours truly will be honored at that particular event. So it's going to be an honor for me to be there with the great people that's going to be a part of this activity. It's going to be a great event. It's going to be a great evening, and I'm looking forward to being a part of it all. So you all give us a call again, 678-381-1973, 678-381-1973. We'd love to have you. We'd love to be in your company. Would love to be in your company. I'm waiting on a few of my folks to call in this morning. Look here. It don't take long. It don't take long when you're strong. It don't take long when you're strong. I just said I'm waiting on my good people to call in. As soon as I finish that sentence, the what happened, the phone rang. Somewhere it said, "Ask and you shall be given. Ask and you shall receive." And ask and whatever they say, all that good stuff they say. But I want to say good morning to this young lady. I know who it is. I know who it is already. This young lady right here. I'm gonna tell you something. She act up sometimes, so y'all be prepared. She act up sometime now. But this is my sister from another mother, but we got the same father. This is Sister Tawanda. Good morning, young lady. How you doing?
Good morning. Little sleepy. Little
It's,
sleepy. It's fine.
it's okay. Hey, I want you to brush up on something for me because I think we're gonna cover a little bit of this today. So I want you to brush up on it. I know I'm telling you to brush up. I ain't gotta tell you that because you already know. We're gonna cover two things today, maybe three or four. You know how we do. You know how we do, Tawanda. One of the things we're gonna talk about today is, and this is a sticky one right here. This is a sticky one. But we're gonna talk about workplace romances. Are are they good? Are they bad? How can it affect you? What happens when they go sour? Workplace romances. Um, should we even have them at all? Should we have workplace romances? Should we have those, or should that be something that we kind of stray away from and keep and let business be business? Sometimes you never know who you're gonna meet a person and when you're gonna meet them. What if that's your soulmate? What if that's the one that you're supposed to be with, but they just happen to work with you? What if they're your boss? What if they're your supervisor and or your boss?
No. Where Bishop
Exactly, exactly. And
at?
and he definitely said he was gonna call in today, so we expected him as well. And something else I want you to educate people on because I know a little bit about it, but not a whole lot. But spreadsheets. What's how do you make an effective spreadsheet? Um, the pros and cons of spreadsheets because somebody came to me the other day and said, "Man, I need to make a spreadsheet. Can you help me?" No, I mean we could go through it together and figure it out, but I'm not the best in regards to doing spreadsheets. But I say I know the person that is. I say y'all tune in Friday and we'll educate you on spreadsheets. I said we'll definitely educate you. And so let's tackle the workplace romance first. Okay, we got another
Okay.
call. We got another caller calling in. Let me see who this call is. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
816 Goddess.
Hey, Goddess, hey, how you doing?
All right, how are you?
Hey, doing good, doing good. So this is Black Friday. We talk about business today, so we're definitely glad to have you. Tawanda is good, and let me tell you, what we got two topics we're gonna cover. Maybe a few more, but we're gonna cover first workplace romances. Workplace romances, the pros and cons. Should you not? And then Tawanda is going to later on in the broadcast. Tawanda is going to educate us on spreadsheets and what are the pros and cons in regards to a spreadsheet and effective spreadsheet. So right now I'm asking Tawanda, workplace romances. Workplace romance. Are they good? Are they a good idea, bad idea? Should you? And what if the person that you're attracted to and that's attracted to you is your supervisor and or your boss? Is that a good idea? What do you say to that, Tawanda?
It's absolutely a horrible idea.
Wow.
It is. It is. And I say that because if it goes bad, you gotta realize that not all relationships, affairs, whatever you want to call them,
Mm-hmm.
okay,
Mm-hmm.
is going to go good. Most of the time, they end horribly.
Mm-hmm.
So you still have to be around that person. If it's your boss, then I mean that makes no sense. I mean, how are you sleeping with your boss? Is it for
Mm-hmm.
purposes of of advancement?
Advancement.
Is it
Yeah.
purpose?
Yeah.
It makes no. So it makes no sense to me. I personally hate and would not talk to anybody that I work with
Mm-hmm.
personally because I don't even want to go to work as it is. So I know I don't want to go to work and be uncomfortable over
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
You feel
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You
Exactly.
feel what I'm saying? So
But what if
that's not me.
you just can't shake it. You know what the situation and you know what it is and you know what it can do and how it can go sour. But this is just a person that you just can't shake this person. You can't shake them, and you think about them all the time. You sometime before the relationship really establishes, you just look forward to going to work so you can see them.
Hmm.
I mean, what do you do?
I never had nobody have that effect on me, especially in the
Mm-hmm.
workplace.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it depends. Like I said, it depends on the people.
Mm-hmm.
Now, can two people be be employees or work for each other or just be friends and have casual affairs? Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
But the majority of that does not work out. You're gonna have someone that's going to be in their feelings. You're gonna
Yeah.
have someone
Yeah.
that's mad, and if that is your boss, then you're gonna have a problem.
Mm-hmm. I
Yeah.
agree.
At the end of the day,
I agree. I agree
I just
with you.
wouldn't be able to do it.
I agree. It can really be a horrible situation. But Goddess, what do you say to that? Workplace romances. Is it a good idea or a bad idea? What if the individual that you're attracted to and that's attracted to you is either your supervisor and or your boss? What do you say to that?
Well, I'm gonna go back to my sister and tell her, hey, Tawanda.
Hey.
uh, I do want to say I've seen it work out, and I've seen it not work for the best.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna say that everything that you do, you should know how to control yourself wherever situation that you're at,
Mm-hmm.
whether you're at work or whether you're not. I know that automotive places have a huge, like factories, they have a huge problem with uh, work relationships. I work for the Metro. We call it our work husbands or whatever. But I would never get involved with someone that has the same shift, work the same time. I mean, that's just too much. And then we get off and go home together. That's just too much.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think that, but there are some couples that make it happen because of whatever the job is that they have, and they make good money, so they want their spouse to be there to make, to double the amount of money. But
Mm-hmm.
majority of them, they work separate shifts, and that's how they make it happen. They don't work the same shift. Now, I don't know if what I have seen in the past is that if that guy's already normally a flirt within that facility, then he's done already messed with several other different women in that facility too. You got to keep in mind of that too. So, and he decides to marry you, and then he goes back to messing around with another woman. I didn't see that incident happen as well.
Wow.
So, right. So you're gonna have to, it's back to the same thing. Be careful who you mess with, no matter whether it's in the workplace or not. Because if you take a guy out of a woman's bed, and it doesn't matter if he's living there or not, but if you take a guy out of a woman's bed, what are the chances he's going to be faithful to you during that time too?
Yeah, absolutely. Tawanda, what do you say to that? And that's a whole different scenario right there. What if he's a creeper? And you don't know he's a creeper, but he's a creeper, or she's a creeper. It could be both ways. Or she's a creeper. And,
right.
And you realize after getting into this person and giving yourself to this person, you realize, hold on, you're not as serious in this whole situation than I am, because you out there with other people. You out there with Susan, Tanya, and Trudy, and Sarah, and hold on now, and Barry. Come on now. What do you what you saw I threw that little crook in that thing. What do you say to that?
That made me think of that nigga back. He was listing all the girls. You might not know about that. He was listing all the girls.
And look, and listen to all the girls. Then I threw Barry in. I said, "Oh Lord."
Most of the time, it's not no good. It's not no good that just comes out of it, and that's the reality of it. And that's why people, if you're not strong, then you shouldn't do it, because most of the time it is what it is. It's a sexual encounter, and it goes nowhere, and it leads to nothing. So, but I would rather, if I was to choose to partake, it wouldn't be nobody in my workplace. It wouldn't be somebody that I have to physically see every day. It wouldn't be someone that has the ability to affect my job performance, my job, or anything at risk. Because you got to realize that something happened, and then it's this tension. One of y'all got to go. Who's it going to be?
Exactly.
Especially if it's your boss, because it's one wrong move. And let's not get to mention how much sexual harassment in the workplace, especially for females, is. So that's a whole nother subject that we're not even going to talk about right now. But it just it's no for me. Even in business, like anybody that I team up with, it's like still don't talk to them either, because it's awkward. It's an awkward situation. And can you separate your personal life from your business? And that's the key, and a lot of people can't do it.
Yeah, they get caught up in some kind of way. They're gonna get caught up. What we're talking about today, just everybody that's just joined us, we're talking about, this is Black Friday, and we're talking about everything related to business, and we're talking right now about workplace romances. Are they a good idea or they're a bad idea? Can it come back and bite you? And what if just so happen the person that you're attracted to and that's attracted to you is your supervisor and or your boss? And the relationship goes a certain way, goes sour, and now you're having to go to work every day, and look at the very person that broke your heart, that really broke your heart and disappointed you in such a way. Now you got to perform and do your job at a certain level, because that's what's required to you on the workplace. Ain't got nothing to do with your personal feelings. On the workplace, on that job, you have to do your job, or you're not going to have your job. So, Goddess, what do you say to that? Goddess, you there? Goddess, wake up and go to sleep. Wake up and go to sleep. Tawanda, what do you say to that? I think Goddess is something's going on with her phone line right now.
I mean, yeah. For me, it would be.
I'm here.
Okay.
Oh, go ahead, sis. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, I had my phone on mute and I couldn't get back to it to take it off of mute. Repeat, what was the question again?
Now, how do you perform? How do you perform? I'm shortening it up a little bit. How do you perform on the workplace when the very person that you're involved with, be it your supervisor and or your boss, broke your heart? Now you have to go to work and you have to work at a certain level. You have to go to work and you have to do your job. Otherwise, you're not gonna have your job. But how do you perform after this person has broken your heart?
I didn't have my boss broke my heart, and I ain't even been involved with him. So
Good Lord.
you you know, it wasn't a heart, you know, but you know how you know a boss that was a nasty boss that wasn't a good boss.
Yeah.
Well, of course, in my point of view, it's not really broke my heart, but it's some loyal issues or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And that's just not a good environment. I mean, to work in.
Yeah.
It's just not a good environment on any level.
Exactly.
Uh,
Gotta be
even
careful.
you know,
Gotta be real careful, real mindful of whether you even embark in that type of relationship. But sometimes, it does. I've seen it a million times. Sometimes it does happen. We got another caller. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Morning, Raheem. It's Kurt, bro. Just calling in to check on y'all, man. Tell y'all I love you, man.
Hey, what's going on, brother? How you doing, man? Good to have you. Kurt, I want to ask, this is Black Friday. We're talking everything business today, man. And I'm glad you called because I definitely want to hear your heart on this right here, Curtis. We're talking right now. We're going to talk about a couple of things today, but right now what we're talking about is workplace romances. Workplace romances. Kurt, are they a good idea or a bad idea?
What's that again, brother?
Workplace romances. Are they good? Are they good? Or is it a good idea or a bad idea to have
bad idea? Bad idea.
Good Lord, brother. Why you say that, man? These two people in love, man. What you talking about? Kurt?
Because a lot of times, bro, people don't know how to disseminate business and pleasure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if I'm your boss and I get involved with you, you gotta understand I still got a job to do when we at work.
Mm-hmm.
People don't know how to leave work at work and home at home, man. So bad idea. Bad idea all day. And with the world being a litigious society,
mm-hmm.
and everybody grabbing for the bag, as soon as you get mad and we split up. As soon as you get mad and we split up, now you trying to go before HR. You know what I mean? Your motives. You go before HR and tell them that I exploited the situation, and because I'm your boss, now I'm losing my job. When in reality, we could have split up because I walked in the office. I walked in the house and I caught you banging chores from accountants.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Wow.
So, God is giving women the opportunity to be, because man has victimized woman for so long, y'all can be victims. I got to go, brother.
Okay. Hey, appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. Tawana, what do you say to that, man? They split up because he walked in the house and she was messing around with the guy from accounting. He supposed to be at work and he ain't supposed to be there, but he walked in and now he's in a situation where she went and she squealed like a tased pig to HR, and now HR looking at him like you about to lose your job. Now the thing about it is he go in, he said, look here, we did have a relationship, we did this blase blase. I walked in on her with someone else from the job. I'm not gonna call the name because I'm not gonna put them, I'm not, my dirt is my dirt. I'm not gonna put them out there, but she was having an affair with somebody else from this workplace. And that's why we split up. It doesn't matter, does it? He's still losing his job, right?
Yeah, he's still losing his job for nothing. And another thing is this: a lot of jobs now don't allow it.
Mm-hmm.
They don't allow it. Look at like some like different like officers or doctors and stuff like that. I mean, they still do it. That might not have been a good word to use, but they still do it. strategically, but it's forbidden, and it's forbidden for a reason because it clouds your judgment. And
Yeah.
depending on
Yeah.
what type of work you do, you need your judgment. Just
Mhm.
imagine, and I watch like some shows on TV, the doctors and the surgeons and stuff like that, and they creeping in the break room. Now imagine, imagine not only are you creeping in the break room, but then something happens. Something happens where you're in a situation where you're in an argument with that person, and then you're upset. And not only are you upset, but you have in an hour a major brain surgery or a major
Mhm.
heart surgery. You can't perform at your ability because you have this other conflict. It's not for me.
Yeah.
I don't even want to talk to no one that I work with, and even now, still, like people, like people will come with our circle and be like, "Hey, it might be a good idea." No, it's not.
Mhm.
Who ends badly? It does. It don't. It's never been a situation where I have felt, unless it's like the only time I think that it might work is if you have like married couple that's do business together.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
anybody that's on the outside that don't have nothing to do with you, or you're just having an affair with this person, why can't you just find somebody that you don't work with?
Exactly.
Why,
Exactly.
why do you have to have someone that you work with? It's not going to end good because you know why? Because most of the time it's just casual sex, and that person is just having casual sex with someone else. And
Mhm.
one of those people are going to get mad. And heck, sometimes they might be messing with multiple people, multiple women in
Yeah.
there. Who knows?
Exactly.
Just,
Yeah. It could be an ugly situation. It definitely be an ugly situation. Goddess, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Goddess, let me ask you, what if the two people are police officers, and their actual job is to be out there on the street and work the beat, like they say, work the beat, and they get involved with someone and it goes bad, and now they have to go on a very high risk assignment, where there's probably people shooting, and their life could be at stake. Could that put them in a situation where they could hurt or harm other person, have somebody hurt or harm, uh, because they're not doing their jobs proficiently?
You would ask me that on a police situation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Um, now that let me see how I can say this. Okay, on a police situation, now that we have our police department is so corrupt,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go with the safety, and I know that my partner's gonna make sure because he do care.
Mm-hmm.
He does have a sense of love for me. I'm gonna go with that one. It's not as a bad situation as well, because now our officers, especially our black officers, are placed in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
I know here in Kansas City, as a community activist, um, we are working right now trying to get more officers in certain positions,
Mm-hmm.
black officers, because they're not. And if they do speak up regarding corrupt individuals because of the FOP, then their job isn't at stake.
Mm-hmm.
So if I have a partner over here and I know that we both are going to speak up, or I know at least that person loves and cares for me and we're going into a dangerous situation, they have my back.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay.
So it just really depends on how bad the breakup is, but usually uh, that's where I take it on the police level.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. We have another caller. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
good morning, morning, well, family.
Good morning. Good morning,
Morning, Christy.
Christy. Man, I'm glad.
Hi.
I'm
What
glad.
are y'all doing?
Doing good. Doing good. Sis. I'm glad you're here, and I need to ask you this question because I
I'm
know.
scared. I'm scared.
Oh Lord, now I'm scared.
Exactly.
If she's scared, I'm scared.
But Chris, I need to hear your heart on this. We're talking about, this is Black Friday, and we're talking about workplace romances. Are there a good? Is that a good idea or a bad idea?
You want the ugly truth,
Give it
or
to me.
you want me to tell you the pretty beautiful
Nah.
lie that
No.
you want me to tell? Because I can tell that beautiful lie.
No, we want the
But-
absolute.
and make it all nice and pretty.
We want the absolute.
Make it nice and pretty for y'all.
No, we want
Or
the
I can
absolute.
just get butt guts and ugly with it.
Come on now, absolute. Give it the absolute. What do you say to it?
Which one you want?
The absolute. We want the absolute. Straight up, no chaser.
Man, let me tell you something. I'm finna try to shed some light on myself. I don't think personally it's something wrong with a work romance because I don't know. Something about being on the clock and getting you sometime is cool.
Oh Lord.
But you have to be able to handle it. You cannot allow your emotions or your relationship to seep into your business and your business mind. And if you're not a person that can separate personal from business, then that's not for you.
Mm-hmm.
But those people that can separate it and know this is business and personal is personal and business is business, if you can separate that, that's the most wonderful thing in the world. Have your stuff right there.
But look, Lord.
It's some things you can do. It's some rooms you can go to. It's some offices, some desks can get moved around or some stuff. It's an adventure.
Wow.
Nonetheless.
But exactly. But Christy, truth of the matter. Can most people deal with that? Like if it can start to go sour or something like that. Can most people deal with it? The reality of the relationship breaking up. We going our separate ways. We still got to work together. Can people deal with that? A lot of people, can they deal with that?
Some people can. You have some people that really have some business mind.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm one that can separate my personal from business. Like when I step in my office or when I step in my job, everything that's going on in my personal is just dropped at the door.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't have, business is like, business is business and BS is BS. We about this money, let's get it. Now, if you this type of person that get your feelings and your emotional all welled up, and it also depends on the type of business you have. Now, if you have where this man have to be touching on females and doing stuff and selling and stuff, and you can't handle it, don't get in a relationship with that man because you're gonna have to be able to handle something.
What if you two are partners? What if you two are partners on the police force and y'all riding in the same car every day? Y'all work together every day.
So let's pull over. Let's pull over on the side of the road and do what it do.
But my thing is, what happens when the relationship goes sour? The relationship is going sour. You all don't even want to be around each other. Don't want to talk to each other. You're angry with each other. But now you're having to ride together every day in a police car for 8 to 10 to 12 hours.
Well, then you better find some kind of medium ground. Because at the end of the day, business, like I say, I'm one of them people that can separate my personal from my business.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if we have to, because right now I work with people right now. I can tell you right now, I had a female that I'm working, one of my coworkers. We were really, really close.
Mm-hmm.
Like we shared our homes, our kids did stuff together. And she did some backbiting stuff that caused me not to be friends with her anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So we're not friends, but we're coworkers at the end of the day. So I still talk to her at work. I still do the coworker thing. If she needs help at work, I help her. We talk the office talk here at work.
Uh-huh.
But then when I go home, I don't call her. I don't talk to her about the things that we used to talk about or do. And that's just where you have to leave it. Any relationship, it don't have to be a female or male relationship or, y'all going out. It could be just friendships that's sour. What about you being friends with somebody for 10 to 12 years and y'all working in the same company and then y'all fall out for whatever reason? Yeah. Can you maintain your business mind at that point?
Yeah. Can you maintain that professionalism?
Should be able to.
You should, and you're absolutely right. You should be able to. I love how you said that, but not everyone can because So I've seen it get real ugly. I've seen it get real ugly. Whereas the people, they to the point where they're gonna fight. They all kind of foolishness is going on. Donald Toussaint, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Doing well. How about you?
Hey, you must have been listening.
Flashlight.
You must have been listening this morning. I heard you laughing already. You must. Okay. Let me ask you the question, man.
Y'all ain't,
You know, this is
y'all ain't talking about nothing.
workplace romance, brother. Is it a good idea or a bad idea?
Brother.
No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. I don't care what Christy said. Christy, I don't care what you talk.
Mm-hmm. It's not a good idea.
Sir, you know, it's fun when you have that work romance. That's why people do it, because the adrenaline and the emotion.
I know it. I know it. Dad, yeah, you're right. I mean, you're all right. I just don't. No, sir.
Mm-hmm.
You better back that thing up in a different kind of way.
Lord, my Jesus, Lord.
You almost made me say something.
Almost.
Bishop.
Exactly.
It just slipped out and I didn't even know it. Kind of like the guy that works with me. I said, man, you can't say that. He said, what I say? He would cuss everybody out. He didn't even know it.
Mm-hmm.
But man,
didn't know it.
Stop it.
Exactly.
Stop it.
Wow.
Stop it. I mean, you know, I know it's good you be down in the workplace and in a private spot and you just feel hanky doing good. But you need to cut that out. That ain't gonna work out good.
Exactly.
Because if you fall out, that's the good part is good.
Mm-hmm.
But when you fall out,
Yep. That's the part.
That's
the part. Yes, sir. That's the part right there.
Wait a minute.
Go ahead.
Y'all act like y'all didn't see Boomerang.
And it
I don't care what Boomerang is. That's a movie.
Oh Lord.
Right.
Get out
But
of here.
it's still, you got. But look, what happened?
Get out of here.
Marcus thought this woman was ahead and slept with her. Marcus, darling, I'm not wearing tea panties.
Oh Lord.
You didn't watch that movie too many times. You better get out of here with that.
Exactly.
So,
Look at, and my thing is, man, it's some great trouble, and it's not gonna take long. And I said, we got somebody from the 678 area code. I just missed them. 678. What's your name? Where you calling from?
This is Kendra calling from Atlanta.
I'm sorry. What's your name?
Kendra calling from Atlanta.
Good morning.
Good morning, Kendra. We asking about.
Good morning.
We're asking about.
How are you?
I'm well. Thank you.
We're asking about workplace romance. We're asking about workplace romance. What do you say to that? Is that a good idea or a bad idea?
Bad idea.
Why you say a bad idea?
Bad idea.
Why so?
Well, from my experience, I'll just say that I'm sure it works out for some folks, but just in my opinion, mixing those two things together just kind of puts you all. Now, is this workplace? Are we having a romance in the workplace and outside of the workplace too, or just a workplace thing?
No, I think what you're having both in the workplace, you're romantically involved and certainly outside as well. But my thing is, and my question is, what happens when it goes bad, when it goes sour? And we even put in the scenario, if you're police officers and y'all in the same car, y'all are partners in the same car, what happens when it goes bad? And now you don't want to be around each other, you're angry with each other, but yet you still have to work with each other every day. I mean, there's so many different things tied in. But what's on your heart, sis?
Yeah, it makes for an unproductive working situation, in my opinion, because you're so focused on the relationship, you're not really focused on the job, especially if you have that person in your face the whole time.
Exactly. And how does one separate when the personal life goes bad and goes out of control? How do you separate that from, okay, now we're police officers in the same car, we have to protect each other, we have to make sure that each other is okay? How do you separate? Because now you got negative feelings involved, and even if truth of the matter, even when it's a good situation, if you get so personally involved, you could you could what's the word I'm looking for? You can actually over engage in a situation trying to protect the other person when you really didn't have to at all. What do you say to that?
I agree. I totally agree with you on that. And I don't know how to stop it, how to make it work. But when I figure it out,
that's good. That's good.
You know what?
Then I'm gonna write the book.
Absolutely.
But you know what, Raheem? What you haven't hit on is that we all have relationships at work. It might not be romantic, but you have a boy. What about this is my work husband? This is my work wife. And then things don't work out between y'all two. It might not be nothing physical. It might not be a real romance, but it's a friendship. Or you real good friends with somebody at the job. Or you might be the CEO or whatever. And you have some friends within the company that you're friends with. Even thinking about merging or doing all kinds of things and y'all fall out. So this is not just, romance. Romance is always fantasy and fun when it starts, even a friendship, even whatever. But then the ending, it may be ugly, but so many people have to understand the difference between business mind, doing what you gotta do to get your coins, and quit worrying about your flesh and your emotions.
And see, but see, Christy, that's the hard part. That's the hard part right there. A lot of people can't do that.
That's not hard. That's easier said than done.
Yeah,
that's much easier said than done. I mean, I agree with what you're saying, but I'm in the situation, and I believe that's why I was given this phone number this morning to call and discuss this. But I'm in a situation where I have that type of relationship. I manage a artist, and we also jointly own a recording studio. So things aren't as lovely as they were once, but we work together, And now, when things are not good at home, we have to work together. And although, we keep the peace and things like that, that doesn't stop the heart from doing what it does.
Exactly.
Right.
So we could be extremely fine with but a thought, or issue that is really related to the underlying problem, we'll get a symptom from that, and it trickles over into the workplace. And we don't want that, of course. We want our money. We want a successful business. But it's just the heart does what it does.
Yeah. And see, and that's the part.
Christy's phone.
And that's the part right there. That Donald say mute your line because you ain't talking about nothing. Lord.
Donald trying to act like he ain't have nobody in his business.
Let me
cut him.
I'm just trying to say.
Look, let me do this. I got a couple other callers. Hold on for a second. Hold on, both of y'all. Hold on for a second. I got a couple other callers. I want to touch the callers as well. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Hello. Good morning, everybody. It's Andrea.
Andrea, how you doing this morning?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
Hey, doing good, good. Sister, I wanna hear your heart on this, man. Workplace romances. Are they a good idea or are they bad ideas? What do you say to that?
Okay, I think there's a time and place for everything. I just don't think. I mean, I have worked with my husband at several jobs, and we were able to do it. Actually, I got him trained when I was a life insurance salesman. I got him trained up, took him off his job that he was working at a factory, trained him up. I promoted him to my supervisor, and I taught him the business. So there's going to be like a humbling issue. If you have a romantic husband and wife who really loves each other, then they can figure it out. If you have a boyfriend and girlfriend who has a mental capacity to be able to do it, then you can do it. But I don't think that you should go to work looking for a mate like you shouldn't go to church looking for a mate. I think that that's just something that you should just let happen. And if it happens, then you'll be able to do it or to deal with it. But I don't think that you should go in there trying to find it, because it's not going to work.
Exactly. Now, what are some of the issues that you can see happening in a situation like this?
Well, as far as if you have, like in my situation that I had, I was the wife, so I had to be the boss at work, but at home, I had to be the wife.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to know the difference. At work, I'm running things.
Mm-hmm.
At home, I'm not.
Yeah.
So you have to know the difference, and that will be a problem if you have two dominant personalities again, and nobody knows how to humble and know how to stay in their lane. But before you cut me off, Raheem, that woman who I just heard said she got a recording studio. Do I need to give an audition right now? Do I need to give an audition right now?
Oh my Lord. Hey. Oh, look. Oh my Lord.
I'm talking about any way I can get them. Any way I can get in, I'll do it. I'll get in here. I'll do an audition right now.
Look here. Oh Lord, ma'am.
Not unless I can get mine too.
Oh Lord.
No, Christy.
Listen.
No,
Look. Hey, Donna.
I'm just saying.
We like good representation. Christy.
She's gonna do it anyway.
Christy, we like good representation from DKM Media Group. We love good representation. And when we find that singer, we'll let that person represent us. But right now, we got
everybody.
Exactly. Let me see. I think we have Adrian. Adrian, are you with us this morning? Adrian, are you with us? I thought we had Adrian on with us as well. Is someone else that I hadn't touched yet? We have another caller. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from? Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from? Okay. They don't want to talk this morning, but when you want to come in, call
on the job relations. That's what's going on.
Exactly.
Hey, my name is Chrissy Marshall. Shira Strong. I'm calling in from Louisiana.
Girl, you already been on here. Stop it. Look, stop it. Let me go back to and I hope I got your name. Is it Canta?
Candra. Yeah, like Sandra, but with a T.
Candra. I'm sorry, Miss Candra. Miss Candra, let me ask you a question. What if, and somebody has said this a second ago, what if the pastor of the church, be male or female, is single and they want to have relationships or get to know somebody that's in the congregation? Is that a good idea or a bad idea?
From my experience, it's been a bad idea. The church women are very, very, protective of their pastor.
Yes.
So when you have the different women, because it's a whole congregation looking at them at that point, and most of them are probably there just to get him. So I've had watched that at the church before once they had their divorce, and it just caused a lot of internal with the ministry. It helps. They were at each other's throats because each one of them wanted the minister or the pastor, and he dated one or two here and there, and it just wasn't a good look. It just caused too much back talk with the congregation, a lot of gossiping, and it was strange. But he ended up marrying somebody else and bringing them in. So. Oh,
okay. And see, a lot of times, what he would have to do, and I've seen it happen too. What they do, they don't marry. They don't anybody in the congregation. This the person I'm thinking about right now. I'm not gonna call his name. He didn't do that. He actually went out and found his own person on the outside. And like you said, brought that person into the church as his wife, and then that way everything else it was a much smoother transition because all the bickering and stuff. Now a lot of the ladies in the church didn't really accept her at first because they felt like she had taken their man from them.
Absolutely, and that's exactly how it went down.
I was like, wow.
Even when he was dating a couple here and there or whatever, it was gossip about that, And I would think that if you're having an intimate relationship with your pastor and you all are still not married, it's hard to receive from him. Like, you can't tell me, that I can't do this and you're doing it. So I think that made it difficult as well for folks to receive from him.
Yes, exactly. Tucson, talk to me, man. What kind of issue is that?
I'm sorry.
Come on.
I'm having a moment right here. Let me just say something with way out the way, which is not. I can't say it. I can't say it.
Mm-hmm.
But that ain't gonna work either.
Come on now.
Let me say something else. Let me just say something else, and I'm gonna say it publicly here on this broadcast, in this this group that we have. I don't love y'all sisters on DKM Radio Media and Associates, but I don't want to have no parts in none of it because it's gonna mess up the business.
Mm-hmm.
No, sir. Mm-mm. I ain't interested.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
No. Mm-mm. No. Mm-mm. Get somewhere and sit down.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's just not good for business. I don't know. Now, my sister that talked to her husband and her has a unique situation where they know how to operate. She's the boss on the job. She knows how to submit at home. But there's a lot of people that don't know how to operate like that.
Yeah, exactly.
That's commendable.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're the boss on the job, you want to don't you tell me, we get that we want to bow up at home, and that's just not gonna work.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in the any entity of life, unless you have the right mindset, it's just not gonna work because there's gonna be a fallout somewhere,
Mm-hmm.
and when that fallout happens, and I'm sorry, my sisters.
Mm-hmm. Come on.
I would rather be on the edge of a rooftop than be, and I'm not trying to quote the scripture, but it's in there.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Mm-hmm.
when a woman gets a certain kind of way, you don't want to be on that edge. No, sir.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's just not good. And I know that everybody else got to say, Christy, hang up. Go on, do your job. Because we don't want to help nothing you guys.
Good Lord. Good Lord. Actually, we have another caller. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, this is Tina from Jonesboro.
Tina, how you doing, sister?
I'm good. How are you?
Hey, doing well. Tina, I need to hear your heart. We're talking this morning about workplace romances. Workplace romances. Are they good ideas or bad? Is it just a terrible idea?
What? Say it again.
Workplace romance or workplace romances. Are they good ideas or bad or terrible ideas?
Oh, they're terrible ideas, but it happens,
Mm-hmm.
But it's terrible because once it's over, you have to see this person every day, and it's at work, so you gotta go to work.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's a really trauma filled breakup, then you're dealing with a person, stalking you on the outside, and now they at work and they messing with your job and try to get you fired. And it's a lot of drama within it. So it seems good at the time because you're right there together and going to work together, going home together. But if something happens and it's over, it becomes an issue. But then too, it can be a different where you have an understanding of the breakup and y'all cool and everything is good. So it can just go either way.
But
been there, done that.
But it definitely have the potential to get real ugly. And even to the point where this person is trying to cost you your job because they're angry with you.
Right. Because they don't. When you at home, if you don't have to see them at work, then you just deal with your stuff at home. Y'all going back and forth, and it's you'll see them again later on or whatever. They'll call you later on. But if they're at work and they have to see you, and now you're flirting with other people, and they mad, and they know where that's gonna lead, where it led with y'all, and it becomes an issue. So now it becomes that problem where she has to see you flirting with other people, or he has to see you flirting with other people, and he gets upset. So now it's a whole nother issue.
Wow. See, it's so many different layers to want to tie up in this. Tawana, what's on your heart?
I agree. And you guys think of people personality and people mood. I know I might like someone today and tomorrow I don't even want to be bothered with them. That's just me. That's just me. So, you have to have someone that is going to be able to match that. Most of the times, you're going to get people's feelings involved, and that's a problem. Especially at work, it's going to be a problem. I want my work experience to be as comfortable and as smooth as possible. I don't even want people to bother me unless it's necessary for you. You bother me, so I just can't. It just it's bad enough trying to find someone that you don't work with. It's bad enough dating out here in 2020 and this whole. So finding someone that you work with, it may be some situations that ended good. I don't know that many, but I can tell you a whole lot of situations that ended horrible. And especially if that person has a higher position over you. If the person have a higher position, like the boss or CEO, what is his motives and what are your motives? Because most of the time, for female motives, is to get a higher position. Majority of the times, I see that.
Now you trying to say she don't really like the dude? She's just trying to use him.
I mean, I've seen it happen more than a couple times. They get promotions. You got Becky in the office. Half an hour. So it happens. It does happen. I see it quite so often. But then on the other side, if you have a boss that's requesting sexual favors, then it leads to all types of sexual harassment and things like that. And you never know. Some of these people that go back in there and be shooting up the jobs, you never know. They might have something to do with an affair. They just had enough of snaps. And you see all them people like in the post office and stuff like that in different warehouse jobs, and you see they come back and they get fired and they come and shoot up everybody. Yeah, like I don't
shoot up everybody. Good Lord. See now we done turned violent now. Hold on now.
You ain't seen it on the news where the people. Yeah, I know you saw it.
Yeah, I seen it. I seen it. But
see, crazy.
But see, my thing is, that's taking everything to a totally different level. Let me see.
Well, that's feelings. Yeah. So your feelings it's not no levels to a person's feelings. That's what you have to understand. My feelings for you is not the same. Going to be the same as your feelings. So you got people that's having the mindset that okay, this is a sexual encounter, where you have to make sure that if that's something that you're into, that your partner has that same mindset and doesn't have developed feelings.
And one of the things y'all were saying is about, I know, just to piggyback on the marriage. Someone had mentioned about a married couple working together, and I think that's a totally different dynamic than a workplace romance, so to speak. If you have a husband and wife, they're already vested. They're vested in the relationship. They're vested in each other. There's something totally, a whole bunch of other stuff happening outside of the workplace that they are with. Do you get what I'm saying? So if there are some things going on, I think in a marriage, people are more apt to work on getting their marriage in order for a whole bunch of other reasons, not just for the job. But a workplace romance, I think that I was kind of putting that in the perspective of, it's just that, we're at work, we got a little thing going on. And also with the young lady just said that turned deadly, I can see where she's coming from, because as one of the people said, you're at work and then you break up, and then, the girl over there at the other desk, you didn't watch it anyway. So now here she comes, and then you have to, as y'all said, you have to watch this, or, maybe the person is going to be a little petty, just because they want to hurt you too. And next thing you know, you never know who's coming and shooting up the place because of somebody's emotions or going after that other person. Now you've involved another person on the job, and now you're mad at her. And, so again, I just think it's a different dynamic when it's husband and wife and just boyfriend, girlfriend on the job.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Tina, what's on your heart?
Sorry, I had to unmute my phone. Yeah, I feel I think it still can go either way, though, even with a husband and wife situation, because if it breaks up, it's still the same situation. I don't think that happened as well. So, and I work at the post office, lady. Don't be using us for your example. I'm just saying. Because I'm on my way to work now, okay? Now you got me watching at home.
I'm sorry.
Exactly. Wow.
But, yeah,
don't be scared. Don't be scared. Don't be scared.
Nah, I'm good.
Exactly.
A bunch of men up in there. We good.
There you
We
go.
don't have no relationship issues going on. But I have seen it, married couples break up and, issues going on as well, because now it's the husband trying to flirt with some other girl that's in the office and different stuff like that. So I just think that it really it's a really big issue when it comes to where you make your money.
Exactly.
Where you make your money, they say you're supposed to get your honey where you make your money, so to speak. But everybody eventually falls into that trap some type of way. You can't help who you're attracted to, and if it's at work, it's at work. It just happens. But when it's not, like the young lady said, she can change in a matter of seconds. I don't want to be bothered with you no more now, but that person is there every day now. So just have to be real careful on who you put your feelings or who get their feelings into you, because you never know how they will, react.
Exactly.
Not want to be bothered anymore. Yeah.
Absolutely. And you're talking about cutting them off and all kind of stuff, and they don't want to be cut off. And,
right.
Oh.
Right.
See, it could get it could get real ugly real fast. Let me go to Christy. Christy, what's on your heart? Mute your line for me, Tina.
All right, give me a second.
Oh, I had my hand raised for the longest. I thought you'd never get back to me. And I thought you were listening to Toussaint over there.
Oh no. No, we can't. We can't listen to him. No, not that one.
Right. But no, for real, honestly, I'm gonna say something, and it's like I said before, it's if you can handle it. If you and your partner have a mindset to be able to do that, you have to check your emotions every day.
Yeah.
You can't tell me that, and I'm not just speaking about romantic. I'm talking about friendship. But when you talk about the pastor, I really, really wanted to comment on that.
Okay.
Now, if you are a minister or a pastor of a congregation and you single, you have to carry yourself a certain way. So if you out there sleeping with your members, if you out there doing all that you're doing, then you cannot be ahead of that flock, because you're the one tainting your flock. If you're a single man and you're in ministry, or a single woman, you cannot allow your anointing to be taken because of your flesh.
Come on.
You have to put your flesh up under subjection. And I know this is cliche, and pray to the Lord to send you a mate to where you can be right before the Lord. Because as long as you're up there, because anointing makes everyone look attractive. When you under the anointing, you're attractive because you're supposed to attract. You're supposed to attract the souls. You're supposed to attract the people. So you are very attractive under anointing. So you have to know how to use that in your ministry, and know that those people or the women or the men that's flocking to you is flocking to your life. So for you to date, I would say, if you find somebody in your congregation and you're dating them, make sure you're doing everything you know to be right, so you won't taint that person. Even if you're dating someone on the outside. If y'all have an agreement, and I'm not talking about if y'all have an agreement to where you know that what y'all do is private, what y'all do is not going to be, then fine. But if you haven't found that, and it's the same way with your job. If I'm married to somebody, or I'm dating because I've dated somebody at my work and it didn't end bad. It is what it was. I don't want you. You don't want me. Let's move forward. But I still, just like with my friends, I can separate things in my mind. I can. And I'm not speaking for everyone. I'm speaking for Christy.
Mm-hmm.
It was good while it lasted. I had a great time. It was fun. This was in my younger days. You know, it was fun. It was fun-netty. You know, it was all the things that you would think you would want. You know, you can go in this corner, you can do this and this and that. And when it ended, it was kind of difficult at first, you know, but I had to separate my emotions because this is a workplace.
Yeah, yeah.
But you're with the person that you work with more than you, just like people in high school and middle school, they get their little boyfriends and girlfriends there because what? You see them every day.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You see them more times than not.
Yeah, yeah. Exactly.
So it happens.
Let me give the phone number.
That doesn't mean. And then I agree. One last thing. I agree with everyone when they say, yeah, it could end bad. It could, if you allow it to. It could be really ugly.
What's the percentage? If Chris, if you could put a percentage on it, what would be the percentage that you would say ending bad? Would it be more or less of a 70-30 that is going to end bad, or 50-50, or what percentage would you put on it?
I mean, it depends on the person. It might be it could be 99-1. You know, where it could be, I don't know the percentage. It can be 50-50. It can be 70-30. But you know, we are, in other words, I guess what I'm saying, if you finna do that, you count up the cost before you do it.
Yeah.
Know the consequences before. If you're not that person that can handle it, don't enter in it. Like, look, I don't date people I work with. That's just my rule. But if you're somebody who can handle it, who knows, you know, this could go awry because we're not married, or if we're married, you have to have that conversation with your husband. All right, honey, look, we're going to be working together. I'm going to need me some me time. I don't need you acting like you, you know, y'all have to have that conversation to be able to handle it. And communication is key. If you dated someone in the workplace and something he does offends you, and you don't need to say it right there at the job, you wait till you get in your first time. Well, Billy, you know, I really didn't like it when you did such and such. Y'all handle it at home. And when y'all get back to work, you drop it at the door. It's just a way. That's an ending. You're going to have friendships. Just like I said, it's not just romantic. You have friends. You have business mergers that went bad. You can look at all different kind of movies or, you know, documentaries where you look at Beyonce and her group before she became Beyonce. They were all great friends, right? And what happened? Their friendship fell out. The group broke up. They all went their separate ways. Beyonce wanted to be solo. It's evident in everything, but that doesn't mean that when they were together, it wasn't good.
That's
or
good.
The breakup was so bad that they didn't prosper.
Absolutely.
You can look at
all right,
Pastor. You can go back in history. Okay, I'll stop.
Okay.
But there's a lot of history in those relationships where people have relationships and broke up.
Good deal. Goddess, are you still with us?
I'm still here.
Okay, I need to hear your heart, sister. Talk to me. We don't cover a lot, and I want to hear your heart. Talk to me. What's going on? Because it's a lot going on.
She basically hit it on the nose about relationships. And relationships are relationships, and that's what I was speaking of at the beginning. It doesn't matter, and it's all how you handle stuff. And I think that's on a point that everybody has to be respectful of each other, their feelings and who they are, along with putting yourself in check on your feelings and who you are. And that's with any relationship, whether it's a work relationship, a person that you're dating in your relationship. There's safeguards that you have to have when it comes to business, especially because it's no difference whether it's the best friend. I've had a business with a best friend and watched them turn real sour real quick, never knowing the whole time that they was hating on me. And I didn't invited them into a business that was a big multi-million-dollar business situation. But the whole time that they was hating it, neither one of us got the million.
Wow. See,
you know, so you have to sit back and you have to just be careful who you deal with, and just make sure that they know how to handle it. And everybody does not. So you can look through the past, and the past presents itself and it goes back to the future. A lot of people saying, oh, that happened back in 19. Well, we're still dealing with it here today.
Yeah.
We're still dealing with certain relationships and certain things here today. We're still dealing with racism. It's bigger than ever. You know, that's a relationship that we can deal with certain people. I mean, but it's nothing has changed.
Exactly. Donald Toussaint, what's on your heart then? Kendra, come to you next.
I'm glad you came to me. I, unfortunately, on the job, am the head, you know, NI, whatever you want to call it. Okay. And I have a whole Caucasian crew, whole crew. And so here's a guy, I get a phone call, and there's the job opening, and it's one that looks like me. He calls, he says, Toussaint, I'm thinking about putting in for that job. Are we going to be able to get along? Because I don't care who you are, the job needs to get done.
Yeah.
That's what keeps me where I am. That's what got me where I am. So he comes in, and so time goes on. He comes in the office and closes the door, and he says, you know, we're the only ones here. I said, don't start that with me. You will get us both in a bind.
Yeah.
You hear what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Don't mix that. This is business. I don't care what color you are. I don't care if you're straight, crooked, whatever you can be a mass murderer when you leave home. But on the job, we're here to do the job. You can be my girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever. You know, and I ain't got the boyfriend. I just work in the factory.
I'm going to say, hold on, Donald. You trying to tell us something? You trying to tell us something? Hold on, brother. No, go ahead, man.
Anyway, so what I'm saying is, if you don't have the right mindset, people will mess you up in business because they're worried about this fleshly thing is so powerful that it can destroy a whole congregation if we're talking about church, Christianity. You know, they're still talking about Jesus had a girlfriend, right? You knew that?
Yeah.
You know the mindset of see what I'm talking about? You know the mindset of a person that would think that Jesus had fleshly desires. Let's throw Christianity out the window. Because that's our Savior with no sin. And all of a sudden you're insinuating that he is sinful. So let's all go home, hang up the phone, and close up the ministries, and let's all go to hell.
Wow. Now if we're not careful, that what you just said could turn the whole course of this whole conversation in a whole different direction. We won't be at Black Friday no more. We'll be talking about something totally different.
We can't mix certain things unless you know how to handle it. Because let's take your pastor, okay? He can be the best preacher in the world, but let him start having problems at home and let it start revealing itself openly. Lord have mercy. You've heard what pastor, it's him and his wife, Dick Child, they tell me they're getting a divorce. I knew nothing was, you know, he wasn't nothing. I knew it was something. And then now, and I'm going to shut up, all of the women that have been having their eyes on him anyway are looking at pastor in a whole different direction. I've seen it happen. Yeah. Because a certain person, personally, after 40-something years, his wife died. And all of the women were looking at pastor to see what he was going to do. He getting booty calls, I'm sorry to say that, in the middle of the night and all of that. All of a sudden, because he has no wife now. Because I'm not talking about a week later. I'm talking about the next day after his wife passed. Somebody calls him, Pastor, you know, if you need anything, and I mean anything.
Wow.
I'm here for you. Sister, love you, but get somewhere and sit down. Go on somewhere.
Good deal. Let me pull somebody else.
When he finally got pick somebody, it was out of the congregation. I'm just saying.
Yeah. And that's what we said something earlier about that. Yeah, you have to go outside the congregation. You can't pull anybody from the congregation, because now, even with that, people are gonna say, well, you must have been looking at her the whole time you was with your wife. You must have already had your eye on that one. And so, you know that.
Brian,
yes.
I wanna mention something about what he spoke of at the beginning about at the workplace.
Okay.
If you don't mind.
No, don't mind at all. Go ahead.
I wanted to reach out and touch you regarding about the workplace and your positioning as a head manager. I am 100% pro-Black. Doesn't mean that I'm anti-white. I want to make this real clear. Okay. But what I have a problem with, if I can get more, the white men do it, the Mexicans do it, there's nothing wrong with making sure that our Black men are in the position and keeping them in the position of their job, of empowerment, to empower another Black man for that position, and him recognizing that it is just both of us. There's nothing wrong with that. Also, keeping in mind, adding more to the team. There's nothing wrong with that. We need to learn how to boost up and help each other and bring up. We haven't done that because we've had so many of our people leave our whole community and move out south. I watch it every day right now. I'm in a neighborhood that is an older established neighborhood where we had doctors, lawyers, everybody, attorneys, judges, book writers, a little bit of everybody within our community in our neighborhood. And they all moved out. They all moved out thinking they were moving to a better neighborhoods. I even did it myself, but I ended up moving back. But now that I moved back, I'm watching how it has changed, and now our big, huge houses that we had, now they're being bought by our allies. And so the demographics is really changing in our neighborhoods, and now when they're being bought by our allies, the value is going up, and our neighborhood is changing. And it's not always changing for the best because they feel like, because of their allies.
I often, I'm sorry to cut you off, but I often wonder about that because I've seen it a lot of time. And Donald wanted to say something to that as well. But my thing is this right here: if the how can, when one group of people live in a house, it have one value, and then somebody else come into the neighborhood and buy up the same house, same property, same amount of land and everything, how does the value of that house go up? How does it go up? The value of the house should stay the same if it's the same house. But my thing is, who are they devaluing? And who are they placing more value? And who are they placing more value in that's in the house? Does that make sense?
I can answer that. I can answer that for you. It's called redlining.
Yes.
And once they purchase a house in that neighborhood, they remove the red line.
Wow.
Okay. I'm a mortgage broker by trade. So, but that's basically where that relies in. But again, I was talking about the pro-Blackness, how we're helping to uplift our own people. And I watched a movie last night. It's called Chess Gambit, something Gambit, and was really, really good. And it was about how that we are the only group of people that don't like to help each other.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that was Americans, not just blacks, but that was Americans at home. And they were saying how the Russians are so much greater is because they each work and help each other.
Mm-hmm.
Americans, I can do it on my own. I can, and that's also with Black America too. But I can do it on my own. I got this, I got that, and we can do that. That's even in our relationships. Let's bring it back to what we're talking about, back to our relationship. Instead of each other working together to become united and become a great couple. That's the reason why I would say relationships don't work in the workplace as well.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Good deal. Good deal. There's a lot tied up in this conversation. Leonard just called in, so I want to pull Leonard into the conversation. Leonard, good morning. So how you doing this morning?
Good morning,
Brother.
Mr. Ryan. How are you all today?
Hey, doing good. Leonard, I want to ask you this question, Leonard, because I know you worked in a situation where you work with a lot of women. Hold on, everybody. I know, Leonard, you worked in a situation where you worked around a lot of females, and you being one of the only guys that was there. We're talking about today workplace romances. Are they good ideas or are they a bad idea? It's a terrible idea to have a workplace romance. What do you say to that?
I usually not into workplace romances at all, because it's just because I've seen it. Well, the issue is really I think Christy was saying it about people who can and cannot handle themselves.
Yeah.
But I prefer a fraternization policy that subordinates should not be having relationships with their managers and frontline supervisors. That has to be a boundary.
Yeah.
There, because the first time somebody get mad, they're gonna use that as their weapon. So I don't believe in that. Personally, I married her, so I quit. I got another job.
There you go. But it does have the potential. It does have the potential to become very ugly. And then I asked a question.
I just call this a workplace. I mean, relationships gonna be ugly regardless when you have people who, like, say for instance, when you're working predominantly with women. So I may have been maybe the one guy out of 50 women. So if you come on my side, a technician comes on my side, right? First thing he'll usually comment to me, man, I know you running through them. See, that mentality causes a problem.
Yeah.
That causes a problem. And I've seen where a guy, when he come into the workplace, I knew it was going to be an issue because all the women wanted it, and he wasn't turning a lot of them down. And while he's messing with women on the job, white girl drive up and pick him up from work.
Wow.
Okay. So these sisters that he was messing around with, now they got an attitude. Now they want to be outside in the parking lot having words. You know what I'm saying? So people who can't conduct themselves properly, they shouldn't be doing it on the workplace, because if that's the case, you can do what you want after you fired.
And you will be. And you will be. That's the price you pay.
They say right there in the rule, don't do ABC, but you do it anyway.
Exactly.
So I prefer the rule be there than anything. Now, if you get caught up, you get caught up, but that's what the authorities is for.
Exactly. Now, let me go to Andrea. What's on your heart, sister? Because we putting a lot of stuff out there on the table. What's on your heart right now?
Okay, so the first thing I would like to say is, everybody get out your phone and leave Mr. Tucson a Google review. Because to me, he is a truly equal opportunity employee. When he says you could be a mass murderer when you get home, just come to work and work for me and don't give me no problems, you got a job.
Yeah.
So he needs a review for that, because that's awesome. And also, I kind of agree with him, because when the brother came in there and said that to him, to me, that spoke like, you are going to be the one that's going to take advantage of this opportunity, because you're going to feel like I owe you something, because me and you are the same. And that's the mentality, if we really be honest, that a lot of us have when we're trying to work with other people of our color. And that's just the truth.
But and
we
let me
feel
ask you
like,
this. Do people and I don't mean to cut you off, I want you to finish your thought, but do people outside of that don't look like us have that same mentality, and do they do they take full advantage of those situations that they have? Not saying that it's right, not saying that it's right or wrong, but I'm saying on the other side, do they do that?
So what I'm gonna say is to this: they don't really have to take advantage of that opportunity, because it's oftentimes given to them anyway. They don't take that opportunity on each other because they have each other back. They're gonna do what it takes to make sure they are taken care of, and you are in the rain. But see, we can't focus how we grow on what other races do at this point in our lives. I'm not trying to get over on nobody. So I kind of understand where they came from, because he's a businessman and he's trying to make a living, and he just wants you to come in there and do what you need to do to help him make his living. When he came to the office and said that, there was going to be another sentence that followed it if he wouldn't have stopped him. He came in there with the intention to say something. So I totally agree with what he said. And I'm sorry, it's just how it is. It's time for us to grow up and be about business. If we're going to go to work every day, go to work every day. Don't worry about the person that's there. If they start looking over you, there's millions of jobs out here at this point. Find you something else. Obviously, it's not your place, but let's don't use it's just me and you.
But see,
no, it was just me. I hired you. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's all. I don't think I'm saying.
I understand what you're saying, and I'm not saying you won't. And as a matter of fact, I honor what you say, but at the same time, I have to say this. I like to deal with both sides of the coin. Donald, I love the stance that he took on that, because he nipped it in the bud right there at the beginning. But like I say, if it was two different individuals that didn't look like us, that would have been a whole different conversation. Now, Donald, had he did it and went down that road, he would have been punished and lost his job. And on the other side of the coin, if somebody else did it, they'd have got a little slap on the wrist. Don't do that. We don't do that around here. And going back out there, go to work. And so, there's a lot of different elements tied into this thing, man. But I love the stance that Donald took. He said, "Look, I'm not going down the road, because if we do, we both gonna be out there at the unemployment office, looking sad and miserable, because we both lost our jobs." Let me go. Absolutely. Go ahead.
Can I say something?
Yes, sir.
There's a way that you can do it without even letting the person know that you're doing it.
Yeah.
I will never let him know that, because he is, and never let it be said, because they're watching.
Yeah.
When he came in the door, they're watching to see how I'm going to conduct myself towards him.
Yeah.
Because he looks like me.
Yep. Exactly.
So
exactly.
I have to be strategic into making sure I look out for me and him, because they're watching not only me now, they're watching him.
Yeah.
And then they're watching us. So it's important how I function from this point on, to make sure that I look out for both of us. So we both keep a job.
Yeah.
Because it's all right for them to do it. But when we do anything, remember when we had our first president, we called it our first president.
Yes.
We called it our first president. And you know what they did for 8 years? They made sure that they did everything they possibly could to tear him down until they got them a Donald Trump. And now, and I'm going to say this now, we think we got a Kamala, or whatever her name, Harris. You ain't got us nothing. all the country has is a vice president or a president. We can't look at it as a relationship. We're trying to come together.
Mm-hmm.
And anytime you have personal motives and professionalism, you got a problem.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Let me go to, we got another caller. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from? Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from? Now, Bishop, you hear me talking to you. Bishop.
Have to take the phone off of you.
Man, how long did it take you to hit a button on the phone, man?
Bishop!
Hey, what's up?
Bishop.
How you talk to Bishop?
Bishop, he Bishop, but he's still my brother though. That's my brother right there. He know. That's my brother. That's my brother. He Bishop, yeah, he Bishop, but he's still my brother too though. Bishop, tell him, Bishop.
I'm the down to church at Earth County guy. Me and Ray, we laugh about anything and everything.
There you go.
Exactly.
Same
thing with Donald. Me and Donald can laugh whenever we get together. And he had me laugh because I was thinking about when the person approached him on the job, he must have been listening to R. Kelly before he got to work. Coming out the closet.
Lord,
so
my Jesus. Lord, my Jesus. Bishop, work. There go Tawanda. There go Tawanda.
Hey, Raheem.
Yes.
Bishop, Raheem, Bishop, Tawanda, Tucson, Mr. Leonard, the two young ladies calling in. I love you guys. I do have to go. Y'all, let's be light. You know, I'm saying this, I'm finna go. Just be light. You know what I'm saying? If you got your a workplace romance, that's fantasy. It's fun while it lasts. When it ends, don't be attached. You know what I'm saying? Just check your emotions at the door. Y'all have a good day. Love y'all.
Hey, love you too, sis.
You have a great day. Love you, sis.
Bishop, we're talking about workplace romances, Bishop. Are they good idea or is it just a terrible idea from the start? What do you say to that?
That's a terrible idea from the start. You go to work to do what you're hired to do.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes relationships do start, but I strongly urge and recommend that it's individuals that are single, that are not married, and that are not even in a relationship, because they should value the relationship that they have at home.
Mm-hmm.
I would never say it never happened. I'd never say it, you know, I can't say that because we know it happens, but it creates other issues. I remember when I was in college that two of the professors were having a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Well, one of the individuals in the relationship, the female, wanted to call off. She said, because she was married, and she wanted to work things out better with her husband. And then in the relationship with him was interfering with what she had to try to do at home.
Mm-hmm.
And we get to school. I get to school that morning. Police there, lines up, you know, do not cross. And he just shot and killed the woman because she wants to break off the relationship.
Good Lord.
And yeah, it was a situation. And for some reason, not even knowing him or her, but I saw how they interacted. And I said, man, they must be having something going on. I was smart enough to see that. And lo and behold, the truth came out. But he shot and killed her. He shot himself, but he didn't die. You know, I'm looking at him laying on the ground shaking. They getting him, putting him on the gurney to take him away. So now he done shot himself, and he still ain't dead. But he wanted to kill her and kill himself, you know, murder-suicide. That's why workplace relationships should not be. And if a relationship starts, it should be with individuals that are single. I come here to do a job, and I testify to this. You know, we always talk about transparency. I'll let them know, hey, I'm not interested in a relationship with anybody. I'm married 9 times out of 10. My wife's going to be around with me anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Bring her to the job and come up to the job. And that gives me joy for my wife to come. Not that she's not trusting me. She didn't like being around me and I like being around her. We have worked on many jobs together. And then some jobs I have worked on where she was not, you know, an employee at the same company. But the fact being, hey, I want y'all to know I'm here to do a job. I'm not interested. And I have been hit on many a time.
Mm-hmm.
And I say a many have. But you have to govern yourself. and take control of the situation and not allow yourself to become a victim of your own desire. I think Scripture says when lust is conceived, to bring it forth sin. When sin is finished, to bring it forth death. So if you get yourself caught up, then expect some negative end result at the end of the situation.
Exactly. Kendra, what's on your heart?
Well, I'm in a similar situation. I know we've been talking about workplace romance, but what happens if you're in a relationship and you all share dreams and you decide to start a business together and the relationship does go sour in the midst of, your business venture? What's you guys' thoughts on that? Dating someone and starting a business with them?
But that's to me that's different because you own the business. You ain't in nobody else's house. No one else can do anything to you. No one else can take advantage of you. So you own the business. You're making the rules.
Right, but it's still a workplace romance.
Yes.
In my situation, I'm in literally, and again, that's why I believe I was invited to the call this morning. I have been in a relationship. We started a business together, and we're smack dab in the middle of a business, but the relationship isn't working out. So it is causing some difficulties working, and I am definitely an emotionally mature individual. And, know how to conduct myself. My money is my money. I got to eat. And that's very important to me. But it does make for a very uncomfortable situation while going through the transition of the breakup.
Okay. Now, is there an option? Is there an option for one person to buy the other person out and the one person that owned the business continue it and the other person, go their own way and do whatever they want to do with that buyout? Or is that an option? Or y'all just said,
of course, that could be an option, but remember, it's a dream. It's both of us sharing, and nobody wants to buy out, and I know I wouldn't want him to buy out because our relationship didn't work. I mean, we love what we do, so that remains the same. But what I'm saying is that I'm confident that we'll get through what we need to get through personally to make sure our business runs properly. But I just wanted to mention that because we were talking about workplace romances, but we were talking about in a corporate environment or another type of setting. Okay. But my situation, again, was a little different because we owned the business. Yeah. And we started it together.
Now, what would happen? What would happen if one or both of y'all decide that y'all want to date other people? Would that present a problem within the business?
We talked about that. We have definitely had open communication about that. And, I can keep my dating life outside of my studio. I mean, I'm not going to have a date with him at my studio, So, what we do outside of that is we're not in each other's face. It's inevitable. I mean, we can't stop each other from moving forward. So, yeah. But I don't want to watch it. We did discuss that. We don't want to watch it,
Okay. Anybody have?
Now, can I say something, Raheem?
Absolutely.
In the situation, business is business, and you're at a point. You're two mature individuals. But you have to become emotionally intelligent. Business is business. A relationship is over. So let's become emotionally intelligent and move on. If you want to buy out, or I want to buy, the other person wants to buy out, let's buy out. But this is your dream and mine. Yeah, our relationship didn't go too far. But hey, we're supposed to be friends, and that's the problem. Were y'all friends before you became lovers? That's a good question, because the friendship is supposed to be, unending. So whether the relationship ends, the friendship and the business part is a different aspect. And so you got to learn. He has to learn, or the difference between relationship and friendship and business. And I went to business with a friend of mine. We were good friends and hung out with each other, wives hanging out with each other, thus and so. And we went into a business together. Desire for both of us. But he started doing things in the business that I didn't agree with. And it became a problem for me. And I told him, said, well, what I'm going to do, I'm going to sell my part out to you. And I'm going to let you have the business. But I want you to understand, we're still friends. And I said, I know how to put the difference between the friendship and the business. But he didn't. He felt like I abandoned him. But I explained to him, if you hadn't done what you did, I wouldn't have done what I did, and we'd still be in business together. So because you did some undermined stuff, how can I trust what we have? And I gave it a shot. So people have to learn to differentiate business from pleasure, friendship from business partnership.
Yeah,
If
exactly.
we're gonna have a relationship, let's have our relationship. If not, then hey, you know what, this is what we need to do. Because even if you do get in a relationship, he should not even worry because y'all are friends, and he should wish the best for you, whether your new person comes around or not.
Tawanda, what's on your heart? You have anything that you like to say to this?
Yeah, see, this is why I said from the doors, I don't even try to put myself in a position like that, because it's hard. It's going to be hard, especially the young lady that has a business, just getting over the initial, breakup, and hopefully she said they have an open communication, which is good because you want to still be friends. I know, like, it could go either. It could really go either way. It could go great if you got two mature people and nobody's trying to hurt the other person, and everybody really supports the breakup. It's just no. That's why I said I don't try to. I definitely don't try to get into it because anyway you look at it, like people emotions. Like, he's gonna feel some type of way. She's gonna, she feels some type of way, and it's going to for a little bit until everybody is healed from the situation. It's gonna have an effect on your business. So I don't know.
Anybody else have anything you want to say before we move on to something else?
He mentioned about the friends being friends, and that was very important to me. But I think that for us right now, for me, the friendship, we were friends before, very good friends. And now the friendship is being tested based on the personal relationship. There's some integrity issues. So my only concern is not the breakup. It's the integrity that you use in the personal relationship that has me concerned about the type of integrity you're going to use in this business relationship. So that's where my hang up is. I do believe that we can continue to work together because we are going to continue. We got a lot of money wrapped up over there. So ain't nobody buying nothing. We got to run this thing. So we are still running our business. We are still prospering in that regard, but the friendship is tested because, again, there's some personal integrity issues that, for me, is an issue with the business.
Okay. Anybody else have anything? Yes.
Can I say something?
Yes.
Can I please say something?
Absolutely.
This is Black Friday, right? This is Black Friday, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so is this about doing business?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so I'm glad you said that right here. So this time, don't cut me off.
Oh, Lord.
So to the lady who has the studio, we're back to this. Can I send you my information?
Can you sing?
Because I'm like serious. Yes, I can.
Well, hold on.
Yes, ma'am, I can.
Hold on. We'll get past all this. Everybody hold on for a second. We'll get past this. Sister, go ahead and sing. Sing.
What God has for me, it is for me. What God has for me, it is for me. I know without a doubt that He will bring me out. So what God has for me, it is for me.
Okay.
It's CadenzaDuluth.com. Cadenza, just like DANDENZA Duluth, as in Duluth, Georgia.com. Just go in and shoot me. That's just, now I can't get you a deal, but I can definitely get you some good recording.
Okay. Now give me your information again.
It's Cadenza Duluth. So it's www.cadenzaduluth.com.
Now you know, can't nobody spell cadenza.
CADENZA.
Okay.
Duluth, DULUTH. All one word, cadenzaduluth.com.
Okay. Now you can have all kind of stuff coming at you now. You can have I'm sure glad Christian.
Let me give God the glory.
Absolutely. I'm sure glad Christian went out here because she would have started singing too.
I'm telling you. Raheem, can I say something?
Yes, sir.
Okay. The young lady that asked the question, I thought about when Nicodemus came to Jesus at night. There was a reason why he came at night, because there was a relationship that he didn't want to break up, because he was more concerned with what Jesus had going on. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And Jesus just simply told him, flesh and blood don't mix. It's like oil and water.
Mm-hmm.
There's certain things that you can't mix. Don't mix them. Don't even try, because they won't mix. Business and relationships, you can have them going on, but don't try to mix them, because you're looking for a fallout.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime that if we try to mix our flesh with our spirit, we might as well close Christianity down, because it never works, because we all got faults. We all are sinners.
Mm-hmm.
But we by the Spirit of God, we can function in the same way with business and relationships. It don't matter about the fallout, because we don't put them together.
Yeah.
Because the main thing is we work as unto the Lord. I don't care, and I say this and I'm saying it again. You come here and hire in and be a mass murderer. I ain't got nothing to do with that. You can be the Ku Klux Klan. That ain't my business. As long as when you turn your paperwork in, it's right. So that I can keep my job. I don't care nothing about that. What the heck got to do with me?
Mm-hmm.
That you know what I'm saying? We have to learn how to function to keep ourselves going, to take care of our families. And who cares if you got a boo on the job? As long as your boo don't act up on the job, if my wife comes to the job and hires in today, I won't have a problem with her when I grab one end of the material and she grabs the other. We good.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously.
Exactly. We got another caller. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Hi, this is Dr. Angela Harris. Great day, everyone.
Hey, how you doing?
Amazing.
Good.
How are you?
I'm doing well. Now I know we're talking about today workplace relationships. Are they good or are they a bad idea? But you have an event that's coming up that I think you want to talk about as well. Am I correct?
Absolutely.
Okay, so you can tackle either one you want. You want to tackle the one about the workplace relationships first, and then talk about the event, or vice versa. The floor is yours right now.
Yeah, I'll talk about the workplace relationship first, because that's something that I've been definitely discussing recently because of different situations within my own workplace relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing that I want to say is this: in anything that you do, it is a progression, or it has to be built. It can't be something that you just go into just because. So, and are you talking about workplace personal relationships?
Yes.
Or are you talking about workplace relationships, period?
Personal relationships. If you're in a relationship with somebody at work, be it your supervisor or just another coworker. We're talking about the relationship from that aspect.
Okay, well, let me tell you this. I have a perfect example.
Uh-oh.
I have a program that brings youth into our program from the ages of 17 to 24.
Mm-hmm.
And what we do is we do on the job training for 8 weeks, and then I have a decision if I'm going to hire them permanently onto a team. Well, one of the females that actually works for me in that program, I decided to hire her on, and she's actually 24 and she's married. And because of different issues that I've seen within her relationship, I took the initiative to speak to them, but also to allow for her husband to come and work with me as well.
Mm-hmm.
I really believe that it depends on the person and their mindset when it comes to anything. That's just like saying you have a business that you own and your husband cannot work with you. I believe that what it does is it separates something that can be more powerful, but it also depends on the mindset of the people that are involved.
Yes.
You have to understand that when you bring work, when you come to work, you bring work. You don't bring home with you.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't have that mindset, then it's going to be something that could definitely fail.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the things that I expect both of them is this. You're 24, you have a child, your child needs you. Neither one of them know how to drive. So that's something that I feel that I'm investing in them to help build their family. I believe that family building, you have to learn how to work together, whether it's in the workplace, whether it's at home, whether it's in public, in order for a family to be a successful entity, especially for the children that's around them. I have a thing, and I'm going to do a conference that I started to do in Ohio before I moved to Atlanta. But it's called the Divine Order of Family: the man, the head, the protector; the woman, the rib, the provider; the child, the seed, the manifestation. What that is saying is that when we learn order, and how to work together as the man and the woman in a relationship, then the child mimics those things.
Mm-hmm.
So workplace relationships definitely depends on the mindset of the people, and then also the people that's leading in that workplace as well. Because people understand that everybody have bad days and they may come to work, and they have to understand that no matter what your situation is at home, you can't bring it to your workplace.
Exactly.
And if you do, then you're taking money out of your own pocket, because you could lose a job that's paying for your that's giving you the income that you need to survive. And so that's my take on workplace relationships.
Okay.
However, I've seen some unhealthy workplace relationships that develop from the workplace. That right there, I would have to say, again, it does take the mindset of the people, and then the leadership in that workplace also has to make sure that they have their foot down regarding the personal situations of a relationship in the workplace.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Now, let's talk about the event you have coming up.
Well, we have a sold out event. I am so amazed at how God has just definitely, shined on the Black I Am Award this year. First of all, Black I Am is an acronym because Black is a negative in a lot of people's eyesight. And then even within our own race, we have accepted that. So when God gave me the acronym of Black I Am, it's beautiful living ancestors controlling kingdoms, irreplaceable, amazing melanin. And that's what the Black I Am Awards is. That's what my clothing line is. And what we do is we honor people from all over the world that are doing amazing things. We do power versus entertainment, because one thing about our people is that we love to be entertained. But in you entertaining, what are you doing outside of that that's powerful in order to enhance our race, the mindset of our people, the heart set of our people, and then the spirituality of our people. And so the Black I Am Awards is on November the 28th this year. And I'm happy to say that one of our honorees this year is Rasheen Asemi. And I just want to tell you congratulations. One thing about our award show, we don't do it like everybody else do. We don't do the voting game, because when people actually receive an award at the Black I Am Award, it's because they have been researched. They have, we make sure that you're doing exactly what what people are saying that you do. When you vote, anybody can vote for you as a friend, as a family member, and you may not even be doing what you need to do to receive that honor. However, that's why we honor people. We honor those who are doing amazing things in our communities, in our families, in our businesses, and even in the entertainment world, even outside of what they're just doing in entertainment. This year, our theme is "We Shall Not Be Moved." I'm excited because Miss Wall Street, as well as the comedian, as well as Tony Terry, are hosting. But what they're bringing to the table this year, it clicked in right with my theme of we shall not be moved.
Yes.
And as a people, this pandemic for me has been an academic. It's taught me a lot. And the main thing that it taught me is that people are wavering more in faith than what they should be. You know, a lot of times, yes, we understand that there is a pandemic.
Yes.
But we also understand that there's a God above all.
Come on.
That sees and knows all.
Mm-hmm.
And that everything that the Creator does is done not by accident, but on purpose. So life is not promised to no one the next second.
Yes.
So even though we have this pandemic, we still cannot stop living, and we still can't stop celebrating, because somebody might not be here for you to celebrate next year.
Absolutely.
And so that's why Black I Am Weekend was deemed on October by Clayton County as well as Fulton County last year for the second week of October. But for the pandemic, we ended up pushing it back to November, and it's on Thanksgiving weekend.
Mm-hmm.
I think that is so strategic, because we have to learn how to, in all things, continue to give thanks.
Yes.
And this is just a reminder, the Black I Am Award.
Absolutely.
Give thanks to the people that are doing amazing things, but also give thanks to God that you're still here to even endure such an event. I mean, it's going to be so amazing. Some of the people that are being honored have been, they have other people have come and wanted to honor them, even some of the mainstream shows, and they denied them, but they accepted it at the Black I Am Award.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's
I
good.
am humbled, I'm elated, and I'm excited to see even more what God is going to do.
Absolutely.
One of the things that I always speak is healing. So that is what the Black I Am Awards is going to do for some people this year.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to heal them from all of the things that they've been holding on to when they realize that life is more important than anything that happened yesterday.
Exactly. Good deal. Good deal. I'm excited, and I thank you for the opportunity. I thank you for honoring me. I can't wait. It's gonna be an amazing evening. And I don't know who's more excited, me or my wife, but we both, I think we're both equally as excited. So thank you very much, sister. I definitely appreciate you. Bishop.
Man, I love hearing that. Congratulations, my brother. You already know how I feel about you. I think you're more than worthy to be recognized for what you bring to the table. I try to emphasize that every chance I get when I'm on this show with you, how important of an individual you are to the world, because you reach in 58 different countries. You're in all 50 states. People call from all over the place, man, acknowledging your program and try to be a part of it. So I'm glad to give you that honor.
Praise
and
God.
I want to just give a chant like they did with Donald Trump the other day, talking about Trump. I just want to say Raheem. Congratulations.
Praise God. To God be the glory. To God be the glory, brother. Absolutely. You know where I stand, brother. To God be the glory. Rico, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Man, I can't complain, man. I'm feeling like a lottery winner.
There you go. Rico, we're talking about workplace romances. Are they good? Is it a good idea, man, or is it just a terrible idea from the start? What do you say to that?
Very terrible idea. Unless you've taken the time to actually bond and get to know the person.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking when I first heard this topic, I'm like, man, it's crazy. Pretty much how every topic he had this week can still apply to everything, apply to this.
Mm-hmm.
And, you start talking about soul ties and taking the time to get a bond with people, becoming friends, getting to know. You have to really get to know people before you get into a relationship.
Yes, sir.
But then you had a topic asking, why should we refer to lessons in the Bible?
Mm-hmm.
And I turned around and said, the same thing about referring to history. It's so we'll stop repeating cycles.
Mm-hmm.
Some values and some, I'm going to say, things that we should live by never expire due to time.
Mm-hmm.
So our ancestors went through things and they already knew how the human behavior would respond. So they leave us these consequences to tell us about, so we know not to go into it the same way, blindly.
Mm-hmm.
Now we got more information to know the results of workplace relationships. And I really like what the woman said right before. She said, Black people love entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
That lets me know that she studied, observed, and recognized the actions of us. And you barely hear people say that. I'm one of the same people I say all the time, man, we love entertainment. We love it more than anybody. But like she said, after all the singing and dancing and joking and shooting basketball and jumping, what you doing after that? You know, that emotion, the distraction that you giving to make people laugh and have joy, what do you do after that to get people to move into the real reality, to have a purpose or to make a contribution to our true reality, especially as Black people? Because we can't laugh for 100 years and have a good time and party and sing. We've been doing enough of that. So you got to recognize the people that have impacts in more important issues. Like you make an impact on the morning. It's entertaining when we get on in the morning, but you get so much more out of it besides a laugh, besides a joke, besides a song. So, you know, I think it's very important, but they laid the groundwork for us to know that these workplace relationships are dangerous. You know, now I look at Michelle Obama and Barack. They met each other during the time they were studying to make and build themselves. They met each other because they had something in common. So they connected through a passion that I believe if they chose to go into a business together, they wouldn't have the same issues as somebody meeting up at the Honda plant that don't know each other from the man in the moon and just think each other cute.
Yeah, exactly.
See, they didn't get a chance to know each other. They didn't dig. They didn't find out, you know, what's your traumas. And then people have to understand too, when intimacy is involved, that mentality, that emotion changes the whole storyline for some people. Because some people, intimacy has trauma involved. Some people have very dysfunctional ways of displaying intimacy, or maybe they act differently when they have certain feelings for each other. But you don't know this. They don't show this to you if they aren't interested in you. If it's platonic, they might be perfect. It might be the perfect friend, perfect co-worker, might be righteous, upstanding, church going. Then all of a sudden, when he fall in love with you, now you see he controlling and he insecure. Now all of a sudden, the bad side, the reason why he went to church, he's showing you why he had to get into church, or he'll whoop you. But you didn't give yourself a chance to know this because he's making good money and he say, you know, so you really have to be careful, you know, when it comes to relationships in the workplace.
Yeah.
And especially with, you know, I guess to me with relationships, it has to be more of a connection. I think to me, if you do have a workplace relationship, it's going to be rare that it succeeds. Because you probably didn't go into it looking for the right qualifications.
Absolutely.
For a mate.
Absolutely. Let me go to let me go back to Chandra. Chandra, you there? Chandra, you there?
I said Andra.
Okay. What's
on there's Chandra on here too?
Yeah. What's on your heart, sis?
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Chandra, what's on your heart? Are you there?
Are you saying Chandra or Tandra?
Is Chandra?
Yeah, I don't know who Chandra is.
Okay,
this is Tandra.
Okay, I'm look, I'm fortunate. Got me looking real bad right now. Go ahead, though, sister. What's on your heart?
You done said or instead of.
And I said or. You got me, brother. Boy, I ain't gonna never live this one down. Go. Look. Ooh, he got one. Go ahead, sister. What's on your heart?
Well, I already did my share. I'm just listening to the good information. We talked about, you know, what my situation looks like.
Okay.
And you guys gave some good information on it. So, you know, I'm tapped out.
Do you know what direction you're going in?
Yeah, I want to run my business.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? The as far as the relationship goes, you know, it's difficult, but it's not a situation where I want to throw away my whole business. That sounds crazy.
Exactly.
I think that we're both emotionally mature enough to get through the initial part of it.
Okay.
But ultimately, we still share a goal. And I'm just going to stay focused on that, you know, keep a positive mental attitude when we are at work together. You know, I just keep it light. We still laugh and joke, but I don't stay as long as I usually would, you know, just to give some breathing room.
Okay.
And just keep it moving. I just want my business to be successful.
Absolutely. And sister, I'm sure it will be. I'm sure it will be. And know that we're here to help you in any kind of way that we can. Just reach out to us and let us know. Goddess, are you there?
Well, I appreciate you guys this morning because I haven't spoken about this to anybody. And so it was really good being able to share and with people I don't know that doesn't have an opinion one way or another about me or him. So this was great. And I appreciate your platform this morning and
Praise
all
God.
of you guys that gave some input. It definitely helped a lot. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing with us. We definitely appreciate you. And to God be the glory. Goddess, are you there? Goddess, are you there? Unmute your phone. We can't hear you unless you unmute your line. Unmute your line. While she's
Yes, I'm here.
I'll get it going. Okay. What's on your heart, sis?
Basically, I'm only thing that I see that's on my heart right now. It seems like everybody has really touched place with everything. I think that we have all grown from this conversation on how to react from action, the reaction from action, basically how not to react, how to be able to control our emotions, how to be able to make sure that we proceed further, as well as we ask certain questions before we move forward with a certain individual. I think all that is key before you decide to make a business arrangement. The young lady who just got off the phone, she touched a place on about, she didn't say loyalty, but she also said that there were certain types of, I can't think of the word, just went off my mind, fundamental things that was necessary that made a big difference in her that kind of backed her up. So certain questions that we need to ask to make sure that that they have the certain type of integrity.
Come on.
In order to do business, in order to be in a relationship. These are all key focuses because we all look at things on a outside level, a flesh level. Oh, he looks good. Oh, he's handsome. Oh, he seems like he's kind of smart, but really, does he have any type of loyalty? Does he have integrity? Does he have, those are key things that you need in order to be in, a moral aspect. So all these are key things before you do get into a business. And also going over a plan. These are some of the things that I've learned. Going over a plan. This is the plan that we have. I say a joint venture. This is the plan that I have. A, B, and C, D. This is how we need to go about it. If anyone wavers, then you know where the fault lies. And then how do you handle it after you've done that? So that will be all part in your joint venture agreement that you have, along with other legal situations and stuff that you need to make sure.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Bishop, what's on your heart? Dr. Angela, coming to you next. Bishop, you there?
I'm here. My workplace employee is over here talking some smack. Her name is Jacqueline Adams. Sometimes you have to regulate.
Look here.
Workplace employee.
Don't try to get grown and get yourself in trouble now. First lady got you.
Hey.
Be careful. Be careful.
Hey man. Hey, we work together, many jobs, many projects. We got a new project going on today, and she is getting beside herself, man. I'm gonna tell you.
All right.
You know what, Raheem?
That couch ain't comfortable, brother.
Hey, bruh. I know the couch ain't comfortable. It ain't gonna be comfortable with her. But it's gonna be all right because my bed gonna be all right for me.
Yeah,
what you gotta say about it?
You're talking real big. She must not be close to you, because you're talking real big right now. You're talking real big.
Put her on the phone. Put her on the phone. I hear her in the background.
She right here.
Hello, my beautiful people.
Hey, how you doing?
Hello.
Look at here.
Amazing.
Bishop is talking real. Y'all. Bishop is talking real big. I figured you couldn't have been too close around, because he ain't gonna talk like that with you there. And so he was talking real big for himself. But listen, I want to hear your heart on this as well. What do you think about workplace romances? Are they good or are they just a terrible idea from the start?
I guess that wouldn't be that wouldn't be the right answer. I mean, question to me, because my husband and I had worked on several jobs together, and I mean that was romance. I mean we did fine. I don't know about other people's. I try to stay away from their relationship issues or what have you on the job, but so I can't even chime in on that one. Okay. I can't chime in on that. But I just know that I know that when people saw my husband and I working together, it was they admired it. You know, they just tried to figure out who are these people, you know.
But see, the thing, and the thing about it too is you got to understand, you know, y'all are two very positive people, and so you know y'all gonna whatever y'all gonna do it in a very positive way. Not everybody is that way. Some people just messy. And because they're messy, the situation is going to become messy.
Yeah, and then, well, I know when you are dealing with messy people like that, it can make the job very stressful to the others. So maybe I didn't take a look at some of the people, and I'm sure they probably had the relationship, but I just didn't pay attention to it because, you know, my mind is when it's ready to think one way, that's how it does. Think one way, I don't even look at it. But I'm sure, I know my husband has experience on one of his, I think he was in class or somewhere at a school. I think he experienced not in a bad relationship, but it was a adultery situation.
He was actually just talking about that a few minutes ago. He was telling us about that. He shared that with us. And so that's something, you know, that you hope that it doesn't go in that direction, but sometimes, unfortunately, sometimes it does. Dr. Angela, you still with us?
Yes, sir, I am.
Okay, what's on your heart?
I would just say that, especially in building, we as a people have to just learn how to become mature enough to deal with whatever situation that we're in at that time. When it comes to working together, that's something that we have an issue with, whether we're in a relationship or not. And I'm not talking about the ones that are separate from that, because there are people that can work together. But when it comes to relationships, period, you know, we have to just do better, just period. And then we have to learn how to separate one thing from another, because everything just can't mix together. It's just like oil and water. It can't mix.
Yes.
What's going on in your household when you're in a relationship can't be brought to your job because you're in a relationship. And we just have to make sure that we understand that. And then in everything, you know, we just have to understand where we are individually and grow from there. That's just how I feel.
Good deal. Rico, talk to me, brother.
Man, I love this show, man. You know, the reason why I love it so much because I'm in contact with so many like-minded individuals.
Yes.
So sometimes I can hear something can come to me, and I'm like, you know what, man, that was a key word I just thought of. I'm gonna make that point. And 5 seconds later, the goddess or Leonard or Donald or somebody will come right in and say exactly what came to your mind. That lets you know you're on the same thought process. Like-minded individuals. So that's big and key in everything. So now we talk about workplace relationships. Well, the key thing is when we come to work comes first. It has to come first because they have rules and regulations in place that don't adhere to our relationships and our love life. They apply to that workplace.
Yes.
And those rules apply, and if we violate them, they will get rid of our butt, and both of us will be out of working love or mad at each other.
Exactly.
One of the two. It happens all the time.
The missed meal cramps. The missed meal cramps ain't fun, brother.
Exactly. So, you know, the God has said something about that I was thinking when she said it, but before she said it about integrity. You know, you can meet a person and they can be the best worker, have the best credit, all the superficial things you like in a person. But you still don't know if y'all got the same goals. You know, you can meet in the workplace. Like I said, you could be at a Humble plant, any manufacturing plant, or you could be in a law firm. You could have met in college and going to college for the same thing. You still got to know that person's character or integrity that you are beginning to get intimate with and get feelings for, because they could be success driven. Now you could be success driven too. Both of y'all can have Bill Gates dreams, but she could have a family structure dream too. Now, maybe somewhere in the back of her mind, she thought that he was going to have the same ambitions for family, the same passion for family. But no, he ain't got the same passion for family. He's money hungry. When he told you he had billionaire dreams, he had billionaire dreams, and he had billionaire dreams only, whether you rode along or not. So now here it is, you thought you had a whole lot in common. And you do have a whole lot of common because you want to be successful too, financially successful. You want to build your legacy, but you want a family. So now here it is, you didn't take the time to get to know each other. You thought you had a lot in common. You thought you had a connection because both of y'all were awesome in law school, top of your class. Maybe you were higher up in ranking in the class than he was. Maybe he looked at you as an opportunity to help his brand, help him get his agenda across. So he used love in a different way. So you have to dig deep. And so you spoke on this earlier, like I said, about soul time and connection. Man, you got to dig deep. You can't let relationships be about just having things in common. You really got to know who this person is and what they want out of life and how they feel about other human beings before you get into a relationship.
Exactly.
Now, I feel like you can meet somebody at the workplace. You can meet Mr. or Mrs. Right. But take the time out to build a healthy relationship.
Yes.
Don't get involved just because of the looks that they have, because that could be a death nail in any situation.
Exactly. And that's one of the tricks. That's one of the tricks of the devil right there, man. Try to put pretty things out there in front of you, and try to lure you in with them. DeWanda, what's on your heart?
I think we talk about a lot about different things, but rarely do we implement these things in our life. We talk about the disadvantage of certain situations. We talk about the disadvantage of African American people, and we don't focus on that, because if we focused on it, then we'd be more unified as we are. And I want to talk about something that's been going on all week that I just can't not use the platform to talk about. And then I'm gonna have to run. But we know that everything that we're doing is at a disadvantage from other demographics of people. We know that. For years and years and years, we've complained about it, but we have done little to fix the problem. That's why Black Friday was created, a platform where you can have Black business, like-minded people coming in and educating all different types of people. We had all different types of people to come through here, but we have to really focus on building a community, building up the youth. And one of the biggest problems that I have is in media world. Over the week, you have I think everybody sees it now, and some people still might not know because it never made mainstream white media. We know that our Black stories, we know that our Black cases, we know that our Black businesses are at a disadvantage. So we have to figure out strategies to fix that business-wise. Okay, we have a 15-year-old kid that is deceased. They're calling him the 2020 Emmett Till. Okay. He started off a missing person. How I know, because I cover Black missing kids every day. He started off as a missing person, and we already knew, because you have for his age and his race. I already knew he didn't fit the criteria. He didn't fit the criteria for Amber Alert, which is a problem, because we make up the highest percentage of missing people through human trafficking, organ harvest, and he didn't fit the criteria for mainstream Caucasian media. Okay, so we find him deceased. The last two people that seen him alive is these two Caucasian people. This is a kid. At the end of the day, he was if you see the pictures, I don't see how, as a community, and we say that they don't cover well, we don't even cover ourselves, because once you see the picture of this kid's face and how the mom had received her deceased son, it's one thing to find these kids deceased, but to find him that disfigured from being deceased and have to bury your son and get your son like that. Every person that has a platform, specifically Black media, specifically platforms like this, should be covering that story, should be covering these missing kids. I got about 150 Black missing children that their flyers, that their videos get no love. So we could talk about, what these people don't do for us, but you also have to think about, what do we do for ourselves as a community? They're not covering us, so we don't even cover our own stuff. A share, a like, or anything goes a long way. The only reason why this story is now picked up by mainstream white media is because we raised hell about this story. Day and night we push this, and I've been blocked on Facebook from showing the pictures of this kid because it violated community standards. Well, it violated me because I had to look at somebody's child, their deceased, in such a heinous way. Whatever he went through, we know that it was a lot. And nobody.
What's his name?
Kawan Charles. And it's in Louisiana.
Send me some information, Tawanda. Send me information on that.
Okay.
Yeah, make sure I get that. Make sure I get that, because I definitely want to look into it, and now maybe we can actually.
I'm sending it to him right now, Tawana. I'm going through it right now, sending it to him.
Yeah, you sending it to me now? Okay, good. See, my thing is we can actually we can do a broadcast action on the television side as well, talking about this, and put some exposure on it. That's something we could definitely do. If we can't do a whole lot, we can do what we can. And so let's make that happen. Let's make that happen sooner than later.
That's huge what she said, because there can be situations where Black people will try to spread the information amongst each other about things that are going on in different corners of the United States that we should know about. They let you know we're still being hunted, that we're still, the savages out here really hunting us down and still doing things to our children, and it's been swept under the rug. But I'm just like Tawanda. I get sick and tired of Black people not getting concerned till white people media tell them to pay attention to it. Because I could bring up situations around that happen here in Alabama that should be it should be all around the world, around the United States. It probably just as bad as Philando Castile. But if CNN or Fox doesn't bring it out, Black people ain't gonna talk about it. They can hear about it. If it ain't in their hometown, it don't mean nothing. In my hometown, we have had several similar incidents like a Philando Castile or George Floyd. And then nobody want to march till George Floyd got killed, but we should have been marching around here 5 years ago for a man that still ain't got justice. I'm gonna say it was more similar to a George Zimmerman case. Didn't get no headlines. Had another situation where a sheriff was caught on camera. This guy was actually the president of the Sheriff's Association of America. Caught on camera choking a handcuffed Black child in his custody, and he wasn't even supposed to be at the county jail because he was too young. Nothing happened. It hit CNN for a second. They came down, didn't make the hit. It didn't take off the way it should have. So it's like we are once again addicted to, I'm gonna say, entertainment and whatever. I don't want to just put entertainment on that, but hype. We don't want to pay attention till the hype is built up about it. So when are we going to start taking it amongst ourselves to make issues that are important, the issues that are important? We shouldn't have to wait on mainstream media. We should have, and it ain't nothing that they can do. It's just something that we have to wake up and do. I think we have to have more love for each other, regardless of what city or state we're in. Because, like I tell people all the time, if a racist cop or a racist prosecutor wants to build up his resume and he dislike Black people and he want to build his resume up on prosecuting Black people, he don't care if you're a man, a woman, rich or poor. He don't care if you a cross-dresser or a transgender. Only thing he seeing is skin tone. He putting black first. If a racist could put black first, why can't we?
Can I speak on something?
Absolutely.
What I do, again, me and Tawanda work back and forth with our kids and on the kids thing. But one of my main things that I do as an advocate is that we need to follow through with paperwork. Paperwork is our best thing that we don't do. We don't know how to get together, and sort of. And I'm gonna say this because we got our pastors on here, but a lot of it's because a lot of our pastors are taking government money, so they've been hush-hushed, and a lot of people don't understand that. Our pastors have been our major source in our community, and they've learned how to hush them up and shut them down. When they get a certain amount of money, certain things they can't talk about in the political aspect, or certain things they can't do. When they get to a certain empowerment. So they cannot influence us in a positive way or a negative way. That's really have hurt our community as a whole. Because of the fact that if they were able to show them, hey, I go to, like here in Kansas City, we have a whole ministry where all the pastors throughout, it's like Southern Christian Leadership Ministry or something like that. And we get all the pastors. Well, we finally had to sit down with them and prove to them and show them. We need to start getting conviction integrity units in each state. So therefore, we're able to evaluate the convictions before they get convicted and after they get convicted to make sure that there's some integrity being done. Any prosecutors right now, we're going after, we have started going after prosecutors. We're going after prosecutors, and how we're going after them. We got several men that have been wrongfully incarcerated during 20 years. Well, we see the same pattern with the same prosecutor. And you see that same prosecutor, same pattern with that same prosecutor. You start gathering evidence and you start going for their license. So right now they're going up against a review board. So that's one way that our community can start addressing some of these things that are going on. Another same thing is these officers. If you're violating rules of engagement, basically is what the military calls it, and you're basically killing unarmed Black men, then we need to start, and they have to be charged. But we're charging them, but we're not going after their police officer license. Nobody's filing this against their police officer license. So there's a way that we have to go back as a community and start working toward a certain way, and how do we go about doing this as a whole and as a group. So therefore, one person is not just targeted. One person is not just, looked at or harassed. But when you have hundreds of people or 200-300 of people, then they got to look at it. They got to make a change.
Exactly.
These are some of the movements that we're making here in our community.
Good deal. And there's so much.
May I say something too?
Absolutely. Go ahead, Sister No. Go ahead.
Yeah, this is Dr. Harrison. One of the things that I have an issue with is this. Instead of spirituality, we focus on religion. Instead of unity, we're so separated. Instead of us coming together and doing what we need to do, we focus on politics, but we don't really focus on change. When all of these things that I just spoke is some of the key components of our doom as a race, because you can talk about what it is that you want to do, and you can be in the media even speaking it. But if your actions don't go further than TV or go further than someone hearing your voice on the radio for you to be heard, and then there's no actions behind it, then it's all in, it's null and void. As far as her talking about the pastors, I have an issue with that. You know, I was in ministry in the walls of the church for 9 years. I traveled all over the world and preached all over the world. But the thing is that the compromising of the word is still being manifested more than the word itself. Because if there are pastors that are willing to take money over doing what God has said do, that is a problem. If we're not working, if you have these, I don't care how small your church is or how large your church is, your mandate is still the same when it comes to community. When we have all of these churches on every corner, but the community is still the same, it's because somebody is lacking the responsibility of their anointing. If they're anointed. The problem is that a lot of people appoint themselves and God has not appointed them. They go in and they focus on money instead of focusing, that's what their main focus is how can they come up? So they go, they get a title, they use that title for that, but they're not using that title to change the spirit and the will of the people, which the will of the people should be focusing on allowing them to understand that it has to be God's will in their life and not their own. You don't really have that taught in churches. You don't have that taught in a lot of things that you call power sources. We're very powerful as a people, but we operate powerless because of our mindset and our actions. When we talk about the politics, we really need to get out of politics and get on change, because politics this far has not changed nothing. And then this daggone election, it's been so many discrepancies between both parties. God said, put not your trust in man, but put your trust in me. Everything that's been going on this year in 2020, for all of these people that had these 2020 visions, none of their 2020 visions have seen that all of this is being allowed by the Creator for a reason, and that's the testing of our faith. The testing, it says in James, to consider it pure joy when you face trials of many kinds, because you know the testing of your faith brings perseverance. Perseverance must finish its work so that you may become mature and complete, not lacking nothing. If any one of you lacks wisdom, ask the Lord, and he gives graciously to all, and he'll find no fault in you. But if you ask, you cannot doubt, because he who doubts is like a wave in the sea, blown and tossed away by the wind. And we have been blown and tossed away by the wind with these politics, with this pandemic, and with the lack of unity that has been put in our space, and we've adopted it as our lifestyle. We have to be the change. And in order for that to happen, it first has to start with self. Then it has to start with our families. Then we can work on our communities, because our family make up our communities. Then our businesses will excel, because we can set them up in our own communities, and our financial freedom then, where where much is given, much is required. And you have to make sure that you're in what you're required to do. It's good to run for your assignment and not an invitation. Everybody gets invitations one time or another, but it's your assignment that's going to determine that end result of well done, my good and faithful servant.
Yes.
Because the assignments are what you were born and what you were destined for. That's a part of your mission and a part of your purpose. Invitations, you might get invited into the wrong space and something happened to you or someone in that space. So we as a people have to be careful not to run after the things that don't even matter. We got to get it together. That's just all to it. Unity is key, but unity within yourself is the first key, because unity within yourself attaches you to the Creator.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Leonard, what's on your heart, brother?
Preach.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Leonard, what's on your heart, brother?
Thank you, sister.
Oh, I'm just listening. My life with, of course, that's how I know Tawanda, because of what she does from an activist point of view, and that's how I met her. So that's why I appreciate what she does a lot. And, you know, usually when coming up against developing plans and organizing and mobilizing people to do anything, you deal with a lot of different issues within the Black community than you would in other communities. And one of the big differences between working with different communities is that Black folks have a tendency not to be able to stay on task. My personal feelings have nothing to do with my mission. I agree to work with people to accomplish a mission and an objective. And so we have to come together to do things effectively that way. This is why Tawanda gets under people's skin with what she does, because she does it very well. And, you know, you got people attacking her for doing something so righteous. And so we have to deal with that. And it's not just white people. Black people have issues within our community that keep us from being as effective as we should be. Now, it's good to care for one another, but the mission has to be priority.
Exactly.
Not how you feel about anything else.
Come on.
But the mission. So I would like challenge folks, especially those where Tawanda lives. We need a digital billboard where Tawanda can constantly put up these missing children's faces. And they need to be funded by people like us that look like us. Black businesses, don't come talk to me about doing no business with you if you can't do this business for us. And you can't do this business for Tawanda. And so instead of all, like, you know, Black folks judge you a lot. I don't need your judgment when it's time to do work.
Yes.
Here's the mission. Do you want to be a part of it? If it's not your cup of tea, go find something else to be impactful at. But too many times we want everybody to feel exactly how we feel. We want them to share the same sympathies. We want them to be on the same page as us. That's not going to help the situation. It has to be about the mission of the matter. And oftentimes when I'm having meetings and things like that in the community, someone will come in, well, I just wanted to say that we need to talk about this, that. No, we don't. This is my agenda. You see what the agenda is? That's what we're talking about. When we're doing new business, we get to that. But you don't come in my meeting trying to distract me from doing what it is this meeting was called for. I even let people know up front, if we're going to have a meeting, that's what it's going to be about. People are falling away from getting involved. It's because business people, professional people, they like to be about business. So you lose a lot of people when you get them to come together, take their time out to participate, and you get them to the meeting, and it's a rant session about how you felt about something that happened to you in 1975.
Good deal. Good
and
deal.
that's how we're losing people in the fight.
Absolutely.
Because that's what we see is so important right now about people saying, well, my vote don't count. You're a liar because you just see they still counting it. You have to understand how things fit together. The reason why you're not getting attention is because you let rotten people get in authority over you. It's a difference between walking into an activist office who has become a representative. That's a huge difference because now that you know what that activist is about, you know why they got the office. It's to take care of this business. So when, like, I would love to see like someone like Tawanda, for instance, who's doing this by herself, eventually should be somewhere in charge of something related to how the state works involved in it. And we have to go in and put these people in positions to take these things serious.
Good deal. Let me pull Bishop in.
Because you have to have organization.
Exactly. Bishop, what's on your heart, brother?
Well, you know, I'm like Leonard, listening, learning. I do hope Tawanda and Donna Green are really connecting because that's her mission as well. And you know, I too am very concerned about our young men and women, young boys and girls that are missing, and then no one's paying much attention to them because of this. So we really have to come together, work together, and do what we need to do to get whatever message we can to get out. But particularly, I love the conversation that the young lady was just having about these pastors. It made me think that she must have looked at me on Wednesday night, because these preachers are now taking the dollar over the congregation. They're not concerned about their physical or spiritual state. I use this expression: when the dollar rule the pulpit, the devil rule the pew. So now money has become their frontless, and souls have become the second or third, factor in their life. It's not a job; it's a call.
Yes.
People get into the ministry, they're looking for the clout or the accolade or the money. But the man that wins souls, and I'll say woman too, there has to be a call in it, and they're the ones that are wise. Because I'm focused on the spiritual part of the individual's growth. But we're dealing with workplace relationships. Happens in the church, it happens outside the church on the natural job. We just have to always make sure we govern ourselves. And when we govern ourselves, we pay attention to who we are and what our purpose is, then we need to make sure that we're doing it. I commend Donald when he talked about him and the guy being at work, and the guy approached him and how he handled it. I appreciate that. He maintained professionalism throughout the entire process. He could have made a big fiasco of it, called him out and did all kinds of things. But hey, you know what? You can be a murderer or a rapist. I don't care. You come here and do this job. You go do that when you get back home. But while you're here, this is what I expect you to do. So listening, as Rico was saying, listening and learning and having people with like minds, understanding we need to focus on the needs of life. We need to focus on one another and help make us all great, and get away from this mindset of the house Negro and field Negro. I'm better than you, and I want to tear you down because I love the entertainment and drama within the black race. I don't like mess. I don't even like to be around mess. And if I find out you're a messy person, then our what's called so-called relationship and friendship is done, because I don't like mess.
Exactly.
Life is too short, and I ain't got no time for that kind of foolishness.
That's right.
So with that being said, I'm gonna go and deal with these folks. They're bringing my stuff in, Raheem, that we were talking about yesterday.
Okay. Gotcha.
But I appreciate you, man. I thank Donald, I thank Leonard, I thank Rico, I thank Tawanda. All of us can agree that DKM Media Group is the bomb. And you have brought so many wonderful people together, man.
Praise
we thank God for you. You are a great entertainer. Now, Leonard and Rico, I need to hear y'all on this one now. I need to unmute your phone. I need to hear y'all on this. DKM Media Group has great individuals, and Raheem is a great entertainer, but he is not a great singer. I'm glad he's better.
Where'd that come from? Dr. Harris, don't you listen to that. Dr. Harris, don't you listen to that. Dr. Harris.
Tell the truth and shame the devil.
Now, hold on now. If y'all don't be careful, I might break. I break out into the song at any time. Now, hold on.
Okay.
Raheem told me he led the Harlem Choir one time.
Man, listen. I got to sing.
The Harlem Boys Choir.
Man, y'all didn't know. I just listen. Let me tell y'all. I just signed a 6 year deal, man. I got a 6-year contract to sing for singing. What the very thing, y'all? I got a 6-year contract. I got a 6-year deal down at the Deaf Home, man. Why y'all laughing?
They're gonna lip read.
To God be the glory.
Congratulations. You don't want another one, another success, another award.
That's a win-win right there. That's a win-win.
Man, I got a 6-year contract at the Deaf House. I'm gonna sing for them every I go once a week, and I give them a concert once a week at the Deaf House down to 6 years strong, brother. Y'all better appreciate y'all. See, y'all don't appreciate me. Dr. Harris, I need your help.
You know what? Regardless of what, Rasheen is the most inspirational show of 2020.
Praise God.
Whether it's in singing or joking or laughing, it all goes in that award because he is all of that. Thank you so much.
Praise God. Thank you. Tawanda.
When Dr. Harris, if that be the case, hey, Dr. Harris, here I go. I'm finna sing for you.
Don't you do it. Please don't you do it. Man, we got a standard around here. No, sir. Tawanda, please don't let your bishop sing.
Bishop can say. Bishop can say.
Sing what? Can sing what?
Whatever. He gonna sing for you, because they coming at church that day right here.
That's a faithful congregation member.
Exactly. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Also, I want to mention this one bit of business as well. These runoffs here in Georgia, there are awesome individuals for you to show up at them polls for. You got Daniel Blackman is running for a public service commission, and of course you have Ossoff and Warnock running for positions as well within the Senate. And so we have to understand that if you want change, you have to vote for change agents.
Yes. Exactly.
People who are giving you an agenda of what they want to accomplish. You shouldn't be sitting around talking about, I don't know what we gonna do. Well, what are the people that's supposed to be representing you doing? Have you talked to them at all? Have you been down to their office?
Nah.
These are the things that's gonna make change happen. Not sitting around, talking about you should be doing what you ought to do for yourself anyway.
Exactly.
But you're gonna have to engage your environment because you can't do it by yourself.
Absolutely.
And I think that's what we have the issue is we believe that you can do it by yourself, and that's why a lot of efforts fail. I consult a lot of people on nonprofit organizations and getting their missions and objectives together. And one thing I tell people, that's important is you have to be committed and you have to be consistent. You can't say I'm not going to do A, B, C, and D if 50 people don't show up. No, you need to do it if 5 people show up.
Yep.
Can't nobody force Tawanda to stop doing what she's doing because that's her passion.
Exactly. We got somebody. Hold on, Leonard. We got some background noise. Somebody's turning up something in the background. Mute your line for me so we can make sure that we're here. We have to have a certain amount of excellence. So mute your line for me so we can make sure that everything is clear to everybody's saying. Appreciate that. Go ahead, Leonard.
And that's a lot of times that is what I do for New Order, National Human Rights Organization, is to sit in different boards and things of that to say, okay, you fighting on this front. What can we do to help you? Because that's all we're concerned about. What can we do to help you? We're not coming in trying to take over what you're doing. We work with everybody, regardless of religion, color, anything like that.
Yeah.
What is your objective and what is your mission and how can we help you do that? I don't need to come in and tell you your business or none of that. I need to fit in with that vision that you have and do everything I can to support it.
Somebody just said something. Oh Lord, I'm looking at something that somebody just said here. They say it's not the Friday crying show. Please don't let Raheem sing. Now I don't know who said that, but somebody said, I don't know who said it. Somebody said that. Oh Lord, it was my brother Pete, man. My brother Pete, man. Pete, now come on, brother. How you gonna do me like that? Come on now. Where's the love, brother? Where's the love?
Pete. That's my man Pete Brown right there.
Exactly. Hey,
that's my partner.
Man, look
that's
here.
My partner.
I don't believe he came in like that. Cause Pete, that brother know I can sing. But listen, we got to get out of here. We only got about 4 more minutes. Anybody have anything before we get out of here? What's some?
Yeah, I ain't gonna say long, man. This is gonna be real quick. But out of a lot of the listening I do, I sort of realize more and more how brainwashed we are, and we need to go do some repairing and mending. I know starting from the days when they had us, I ain't gonna say had our ancestors up on the slave block for sale, separating families and babies. They were separating people that didn't want to be separated. Then later on, they started seeing that they couldn't keep us separated, so they started making laws against us congregating. Now, so it's just so funny how dysfunctional we are that we do the job for them now.
Yep.
We willingly embrace their issues. Somebody said something about the politics and religion earlier. I've always paid attention to American politics, and I've always understood the part about being an American, but I was still realizing through my history that I was black first. because of the ways that America was built and what America didn't intend for me to be a part of at first.
Exactly.
So then I looked at the practices that came with that. And I started realizing how much they wanted us to be disenfranchised and segregated from each other. So now I know that my issues, if I see a reporter on TV talking about politics and he started talking about their agendas and this and that, I'm like, you know what, but that don't even affect us. What about us? I'm always looking at that. You know what I'm saying? We don't ever really have our issues addressed. So that's why I look at people like Tawanda, you know what I'm saying? Different people that I know that are in the trenches for real. Those are the people we need to put on pedestals. We need to get them a platform. We don't need to be sharing Cardi B as much.
Exactly.
Or 6ix9ine, and we need to be sharing the information that Tawanda has up about these missing children. So exactly. I mean, and we need to be talking about uniting, how important it is, because we are fighting a lot of the same battles in a million different organizations.
Exactly.
So I mean, you taking a million different routes to try to get to the same place. Everybody bumping head because we crowded up in the lines, trying to get down the same roads instead of traveling together on the same train.
That's right.
But that is subconsciously what we have been programmed to do, and now we don't even realize that we are doing Western man's job of being segregated and not uniting. We got to fix that, and we got to wake people up and make them realize just how disenfranchised we are on our own accord, not according to what other people have done, because that happened in the past. Now, like I said, we just accepted this behavior and become accustomed to it and don't even know we're really self-destructive. We crying and complaining about not being united, but we got 5 different organizations doing the same thing and won't nobody talk to each other.
Exactly. Exactly. I'm looking at the clock, y'all. It's 9:59. Time for us to get out here. But before I do that, Leonard, what's going on at 3 o'clock today?
If you did not get a chance to hear the show in its entirety, you can log on to www.dkmmediagroup.com at 3 o'clock Eastern today.
Yes, sir. Dr. Harris, Dr. Harris.
I just want to say real quick, and I'm glad, and I already knew what you was going to say.
Okay.
But before that, remember that BPU does stand for Black People United. Black is an acronym for Beautiful Living Ancestors Controlling Kingdom. When God gave me the rebirth of the Black nation about 6 years ago, it's been a struggle to get people with one accord. It's more people, a lot of times when we try to bring people together, it's more people stepping on the cord instead of being with one accord. So, you know, my challenge is to everyone that's under the sound of our voice that has the same thought pattern. It takes a hub in order to bring everything together.
Yes.
And with that, you were going to ask me to pray, right?
Absolutely.
Excuse me.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, God. Most gracious and Heavenly Father, we thank you for yet another day among the land of the living. We thank you for giving us for all of our sins, the ones that we know of, and even the ones that we don't and are unaware of. Father, we just thank you for this show today. We thank you for all of the wisdom, the knowledge, the voices, and the understanding that we gain from that. And the things that we don't understand that we do need to understand, we ask you that you would prick our brains and our minds so that we can live according to your will and your way. Father, we pray over every family under the sound of our voice, because we know, God, that the families right now are starving for change. And when we change as families, then we can come together as communities to make things different than what it's been. Father, we pray for everyone that needs to be accountable for our change, that you would give them the will and that your will will be done in their lives and not their own. Father, we pray for this show, that it continue to increase with the spirituality as well as the information. Father, we thank you, God, for everything that you've already done. We thank you for what you're doing right now, and even more the things that you're going to do. Greater is you that is in us than he that is in this world. So we just continue to ask for your protection in the midst of this cruel world. Father, we love you, we thank you, we honor you, and we ask that your perfect will be done in all of our lives. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Leonard, you was about to say something?
Amen. Amen.
Yes, it's the end. It's coming towards the end of the year, so people need to be aware. Make sure you're making your healthcare benefit choices, as well as if you have a desire to start a nonprofit. There is a very easy form now with the IRS. The IRS 1023 is an easy form to start a nonprofit organization. Do your favor, get legit, because as change comes, it provides opportunity.
Yes.
If you have these licenses as nonprofit organizations, there's going to be a lot of funding for you to take advantage of that could probably help you with what it is you created your nonprofit for. So get legal as it relates to whatever state you may be in and their nonprofit requirements, and go ahead and apply for your 1020, your 501c3 designation, if that's what your business is. The turnaround time on that is probably less than 6 weeks.
That's good.
So if you do it and get it in, it's a very simple form. As long as you're in a situation where you're under $50,000, you can take advantage of that form.
Good deal. And Dr. Harris, they're asking for more information about BPU. So if you want to share more information about that on the site or however you see fit, they're definitely asking for more information on that. So you can actually go to here and you can post some information. People can get in contact with you through this platform as well, if you don't mind. Excuse me, if you don't mind doing that.
Okay.
Yeah, because they're definitely asking for it. Okay, we're about to get out of here for today. Let me see, Tawanda, anything on your heart before we go? Tawanda, I'm about to say it to you. Tawanda, wait.
I had to unmute.
Okay.
I had to unmute. Sorry.
I was about to.
Just I think everybody said everything that needed to be said. You know, we need to focus on us. We need to focus on unity. And and like I said, Black Friday's been around for a long time. You know, hold me accountable to expanding, because we got a lot of great things. A lot of people have partnered, and we're gonna, build our own community. One of the things on the activist side is we don't have numbers. So I think if we have a business networking community, we'll have the numbers for change when they need to make laws and stuff like that. We'll already have the number of requirements. So it's going to do a lot of things. And it's people like everybody that's on the phone. It's people like Mr. Brown, who's Black Business Ideal. It was that I'm implementing, that he has for 15 years, have done nothing with it, and we want to use that. So just continue to do shows and continue to call in, because we need to just hold each other accountable to what we say that we're going to do.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, it's been a great broadcast. I want to thank everybody for joining us. And more than that, I want to thank you for allowing DKM Media Group and the Morning Glow to be a part of your morning. It is now 10:04. You're about to exit the Morning Glow. But before you go, I want you to do me two favors, if you will. One, I want you to continue to pray for us, because we're certainly praying for each and every one of you. Number two, why this is real simple. I want you to go out there, find somebody, and give them a hug, because you never know. It could be the only hug that they get, or it could very well be their last. Love you, and ain't nothing you can do about it. Have a great day and a better tomorrow. We shine some light on you from the Morning Glow. Take it out there into this wicked and cruel world that we live in, and let your light so shine. Do me a favor, go out there, find somebody, give them some love. You just might find some love in return. Y'all have a great day.